Thank you.
Welcome to the Sister Circle, where real talk flows. 4 different voices, one platform holds. Conversations flowing, stories we share. A space built on love, respect and care. Here in the circle, we listen, we learn. Here in the circle, we speak, we connect. Here in the circle, we unlearn, we learn. Welcome to the Sister Circle. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello.
Is everybody here?
We
Hi,
are.
Sissy. Hi,
Hi,
Auntie
Abby.
Rose.
Hi,
Hi,
ladies.
Babe.
Hi.
Hi, Real Fam. How's everybody doing today? Can you hear me?
Yes.
How's everyone doing today? Happy Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah.
Happy
Happy
Thursday,
Thursday.
guys. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. It feels
It's
like a
been-
long. It feels like a long. The week is dragging. Is it just me?
Yeah, it
Ah.
is.
Sissy, I suffered today. That's all I can
Good
say.
luck.
What kind of day?
Gen Z showing Abby. Abby, your Gen Z are showing you Shaggy, right?
Exactly.
It's too much.
Good
Thank
luck.
you, Uncle Ben. Anyway, Auntie Inkus, are you there? How's your week been so far? Auntie Inkus?
Oh, she has a headset. She said we just heard her. She was
Oh,
perfect.
you can hear me, right?
We can
Yes.
hear you now.
yes.
Okay.
Hey,
I think I
sis.
pressed something. Sorry. Yes, and my week has been blessed. Today is Thursday. Excited for another week. How are you ladies doing?
Good. It's good. Being a bit busy doing my property thing. You know how it is, boss lady. And then I'm preparing for the fact that it's half term next week.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm
God.
dreading it. Cece, I didn't dread. I was checking when I was checking the calendar because my mom wanted to know is there half term. I was like, oh yeah, they finish tomorrow, and I got a whole week of him not wanting to wake up, being on the computer non-stop. So yeah, pray for me, guys.
We're praying for you. Actually, that's the reason I forgot is because I'm not here for half term. I'm on annual leave.
Wow.
So some people are not my problem. I packaged my problem somewhere else. My little man somewhere else. I'm away. So
That's
maybe
good.
that's why I'll be enjoying.
Have fun.
Sorry, I'll be praying for the mums. Half term. It's not just gone back to school and they're already gone on half term. These people, they're not serious.
It's every 6 weeks, you see. Yeah, it's every 6 weeks, unfortunately. So yeah, I count it and then I prepare myself mentally for half term again or Easter or whatever. But yeah, what can you do?
Absolutely. Sis.
Abby?
Yes, sis.
What's been happening? What's been happening? How's your week been?
My week has been long. I've just had a very busy week. I have like 2 interns. Listen, I'm retiring from being Gen Z president. They're actually a lot. I'm done with them. I'm done,
Supporting
trying
them.
to defend them. Yes, whatever they get from the older ones, they deserve at this point. Yes, I'm tired. Yeah, I just had a really long day, but I'm happy to be here, of course. So yeah. Can I just ask what is in everyone's cup?
Okay, I'll start first. I normally always have English breakfast, but I'm trying to be really healthy. So I had a little bit, a spoon and a bit of honey in it because even though I'm trying to be healthy, I have to have a little bit of sweet. So that's what I have. English breakfast tea with a little bit of honey.
Amazing. Auntie Yinkers, what's in your cup?
I have water. I'm trying to be a good girl, but I had coffee like 3 cups already today. So,
Okay.
so
Sissy,
washing
what
down
is
with water.
I am joining Sister Yinka with the water. I've got H2O with sprinkles. Well, lots of ice actually. Ice is my baby. So yeah, ice.
Nice.
Okay. I'm having water as well.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that's actually having
Okay,
tea?
honey, baby, you need to repent.
Okay.
Okay, I'm infected.
Anyway, so Cece, can we welcome our real fam?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. Hi, Ashlyn. Welcome. Ashlyn's been here for a while.
I
She's
know.
waiting for us.
Early
Thank
birds.
you, sis.
Hey,
Thank
Uncle
Ashley.
you.
Patrick. Uncle Patrick is here today.
Hey, Uncle
Thank you very
Patrick.
Hey,
much for
Patrick.
coming. Sis Lola is here. Good evening, sis. Thank you for coming. Our very own Uncle Ben is here. Thank you, Uncle Ben.
Thank
Thank
Hey,
you for
you.
coming.
UB.
Uncle Ben loves our studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Aw.
See, it was a
UB.
good touch, right? I told ya.
I'm glad you like it.
Hello.
Zappy.
Hello,
Hey,
Zappy
Uncle
already started
Dayo.
violence in the backstage this morning.
I
Yeah.
know. He started
Puppy.
the
He
day
started
right.
very early. He's come already.
I know.
Hi, Zeno.
Zeno.
Thank
Hi, sis.
you. Welcome. And this is sis Doopsy Shot. Thank you so much for
Hey,
coming.
Dipsy.
Hey.
Appreciate you. Sis Natu
3 months. What
Hey,
does that
Sister
mean?
Nat.
What does that mean? Sorry, sis.
coming.
Ada, thank you, my dear.
Hey.
She's at
Hey,
work,
Thanks
but
for
Adan.
she's
coming,
here.
sis. And we have Sister Beaver of
Hey.
Canada. Thanks
Hey,
for
Hey,
coming.
Sister Viva.
Can I ask a question, guys, in the comment section? What do you think of our studio? What do you think, guys? Comments.
Hey, Misty.
Thank you, Sister Lee, for coming. Sister Chinye, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you all. Sister Sue, thank you so
Sue.
much for coming. Peanut Girl, thank you. I remember
Who's Peanut
Peanuts.
Girl?
She went by Peanuts before YouTube changed the
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's still
Peanut
messing
Girl.
up the names. Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate you. Sister Sue,
Thank you, guys, for
so
the
much
comments.
for coming. Sister Arikemi, thank you so much for coming. And I think that is all for now. Expecting, I guess,
Lola, have you gone to
more
Lola?
people. Yes,
And
I
Chichi's there as well.
She's
I
there.
have.
Okay.
I've said hello to Sister Chingy as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us.
Mm.
Please like, subscribe, share, and we will just start with the show.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Can I go ahead and play the content for today? Are we ready?
Yes, go for
Yes,
it.
we are.
Have we introduced our topic today?
Oh, yes. Sorry, that's true. So today the topic is beyond the slogan, who really protects the Black woman? Just to break it down, we hear a lot of slogans about protect Black women, hashtag protect Black women. And really, this topic is just to explore if it's just a matter of words, it's just a random slogan, if it's just hashtags for the sake of hashtags, and or if it actually exists. Do they back this slogan up with actions? That is what we're basically talking about today. So we have a few videos to share with you, and then obviously we can now break down and get into the show. Here we go.
Under the car. Are you mad? Are you stupid? I could not sit well. Are you stupid? Why are you pressing my? Don't tell me it's okay. One time is okay. Do you know why I am? I'm sorry. Now you pressing my bum under a taxi because I entered the public transport with you. I'm okay.
I said I could not know that.
You did not know what?
I'm sorry, my dear.
You put your hand under. You were pressing my ass. Are you mad?
I'm sorry, please. Don't be offended, please.
You're sorry what? As if you did not know. It's when you told him to come there. I noticed that his hand was under my bum bum. I was wondering what was moving under here. And there was space behind. There was space behind. He refused to sit behind. So that you come and sit under sit down here. Put your hand under and you were pressing my hand. Are you mad? Do you know me?
Don't be offended, please.
Do you know I can drag you out of this
I'm
bus?
sorry, please.
You're sorry what?
I'm sorry, please. No place,
God punish you there, idiot. You idiot. You're pressing my hands under. I'm following you. Let's go. You're sorry about what? Why would you be pressing my hands? Are you stupid?
I'm sorry.
Are you stupid?
I'm sorry, please. Don't be offended, please.
Calm down.
Please, I'm sorry. Don't be offended. I beg.
You sit down. There was space behind. No, he refused to sit behind. He came and sat down in front. Something that crossed my hands under. I was wondering what was crossing my hands. So the driver now said, go down behind. When he came down, I noticed that his hand was under my bum bum, pressing my bum bum. Are you a fool? I can slap you now. You're a fool.
I'm sorry.
You're a foolish
Not
man.
like that, please. I'm sorry, please. Not like that.
Next time, see.
Sisters.
Yep.
What do you what do you think? Rishi. Things are really the audacity. It's the audacity for me.
My issue is the people in the back. Please, can we drop the gender of the people in the bus and what was their gender and what were they doing? Thank you.
They did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. All I heard is most of the time her shouting and the guy apologizing. There was no one, as far as I'm concerned, speaking up for her, which is really, really sad.
Auntie
Can you
English.
guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Auntie Inka, this is your headset. What's happening? You're
Yinka,
muted.
we can hear you.
Auntie English, you're muted. What's going on? Honey babe, do you want to go while we wait for Auntie English?
I mean, I've said everything. I'm just really. It doesn't surprise me. We're not in Nigeria, and the fact of the matter is that everybody kept quiet. I can't identify who was at the back, like Cece was asking, but it was. I'm assuming it could have been men. But
The whole bus.
Was men.
what is really shocking is the fact that no one grabbed him, accosted him to the state. You're going to the police station. It was literally her arguing with the guy, and no one else was saying anything. They were not outraged. They were not holding the guy, telling him off. There was nobody. And yeah, it's really disappointing that there was no one there to protect her, stand up for her. So yeah, really disappointing, really.
Crazy.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, we can.
Okay, thank God. I'm not going to touch anything anymore. I promise.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'll try.
What did you think about the video that was played, the bus situation?
It's quite sad that even in 2025, we're still dealing with this. Unfortunately, I would have to say that it's been this way for decades. Because even as a teenager, I remember going through something like this, even in the middle of the market. A young girl, I was not a woman. So it's not shocking, but I will believe that in this day and age that we can do better as a society, that our men will see stuff like this and be able to speak up and stand up for a woman that is pretty much voicing out our concerns and no one is saying anything. It's very sad.
Very sad. Cece?
Okay, so for me, I always say that the four main things I'd say. The bystander effect is a main one. I asked specifically what was the gender of the people in the bus and what were they doing. In that video, the whole bus was full with men. Okay, the driver was a man. The other people that were sitting next to that man that was doing the groping were men. The people in the back were men. And when the lady was shouting, they just continued pressing their phone, or they looked with blank expressions, not much outrage, not much of anything, just blank faces. So I feel like psychologically, people, I don't know whether it's a man thing, but I think people are less likely to intervene, especially when there's lots of people around, because I think that they assume that somebody else's duty to step in, right? So that's why we witnessed so many of these men just sat there, not one of them, because maybe in their mind they're thinking, this guy, somebody else will, come to the aid. And I think because there's like I think maybe in Africa, I would say specifically, a lot of male privilege and detachment goes on. Because men rarely experience this kind of violation, how often does a man get on a train or on a bus and a woman gropes his ass? I've never heard it happen, right? So I feel like they underestimate how traumatic it is when that thing happens to women. I think either they think, oh, okay, it's something awkward, and as a bystander, they don't actually understand how humiliating it is and how scary it is for the victim. Because that lady was a victim. I don't know if they just feel like, okay, maybe she has a big nyash. Okay, the guy just, he couldn't help himself. His hand slipped. I don't know what goes in their mind. And then also maybe also like conditioning for men, maybe now, where they tell men to mind their business, especially when you're out in public, in case if they step in, things may get worse. But for me, in this respect, I feel like the amount of men that were there were enough to, one, overpower this man. So there really wasn't a threat of maybe another man being injured or anything like that. The man himself was already apologizing, so he knew what he did was wrong. So the other men, if they had all voiced their outrage, it wouldn't have escalated. The guy wouldn't have been mad to escalate and start trying to fight 15 men in the car, in the bus, right? So in that instance, I don't think that that's a valid excuse. This fear of conflict, or maybe not trying to make things a big deal. For me, I feel like a lot of the time it's men are very detached to what goes on with women, because it doesn't happen to them, they don't care, especially when it's black women. And then, like I said, the bystander effect. A lot of people just see things happening and they never care to intervene because they feel like somebody else should handle it. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's quite disappointing, but very common, very, very common, unfortunately.
I'm just going to say that specifically in Nigeria, because I grew up in Nigeria, a lot of people don't understand the, and we say this all the time about consent as well, where there's a very thin line sometimes. There's so many inappropriateness that happens in Nigeria. Is it from a really, really older man calling a teenager my wife? And which we touched on briefly yesterday when we were talking about ladies that reach puberty really early on. Is it even going to the market? Anyone that grew up in Nigeria can testify to this. Going to the market and all of those brothers are pulling you, touching you. Sister, come buy jeans. Sister, come here. You're touching me and you don't know me. They have no sense of, should I say, personal space. Why are you touching a woman that you do not know in an attempt to, should I say, lure her to come to your store to buy something from you? It's very easy for men to touch women inappropriately and they think it's very normal. And it's the fact that these men are so conditioned and believe that it's to a very large extent, it's some sort of endearment. We saw it happen that time as well. I don't know if you remember that video that went viral. I can't remember the university where the lecturer had the lecturer had an issue with the girl because she was filming a TikTok video and it caused a whole fight where there was that whole thing about why did the lecturer touch her or not. And there were a lot of people that did not understand that, okay, yes, the girl overreacted, didn't make sense, but he still shouldn't have touched her. You're saying that you're touching her to make sure that she doesn't hit you because you're trying to walk past. These are the issues. So it's kind of like an issue in places like Nigeria where they don't understand that you just don't touch people, especially when it's the opposite sex. You need to allow people their personal space, right? So I think that a lot of people get away with stuff like that as well, where they don't realize that it's inappropriate. Obviously this particular video is an obvious situation where he was actually being inappropriate, and you hear people even begging for her rather than being angry, because again the notion is actually it's just small touch that he touched. He didn't even do anything to you. It has to be extreme for them to see that's a problem, and that in itself is an issue. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm going to read some comments and then we'll go to the next video. Sister Chinye says, look at him looking like stupid he goats. Adana, very sick in the hair. This is the type that would be graping anything inside. Exactly, because it starts with things like this, doesn't it? Anyways, his gypsy shot says, it's unfortunate, but most women have been touched like this. Absolutely.
Every single woman, please.
Every single woman, please.
If you've experienced something like this, drop a one in the chat. Let's count the numbers.
I'm speechless for now. It's not like that. It's like how? So annoying. Exactly. It's not like that. Exactly. What's your hand doing there to begin with? Exactly. Say it's not like that. No one gave any form of support. Exactly. And similar, we spoke about this before we came live, where we talked about respect, because a lot of men don't respect women. It
Mhm.
makes more sense, especially in those kind of countries, right? Where men are seen as superior. It makes sense for men to be the ones telling men, stop that nonsense, because they wouldn't listen anyway. It just
Mhm.
makes sense for men to stand up for
Yeah.
women because they are the ones that will be listened to, you know? So, it's crazy. Anyway, all males saying it's okay, and she said, no, it's not. Exactly. Why are you saying it's okay?
Hmm.
Misty says a black woman has to stand up for herself, speak for herself, advocate for herself, and defend her calves, the children. We have been therefore conditioned to develop a thick skin by default. That is very true. Sis Lola says it's almost always the same reaction. No one speaks up. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
very true.
ladies, remember
Mhm.
what Sister Mister just said now about women having to do all of this for themselves. This
Yeah.
ties right back to episode 1 of the hyper independent woman.
Hyper independence woman. Yeah, it
Yep.
ties directly because we have to do everything. And then
Mhm.
they have the audacity to now say that why are we so masculine? Why are we so aggressive? Because we have to do everything because no one else will speak up for us except for us.
So imagine going all your life as a woman from a childhood to a full adult, having to defend yourself at every given time, and then
Course.
you find yourself in a marriage. It's a whole different ball game because here you have to learn to soften up a bit because
Yeah.
because of where you're at. But this is pretty much retraining your whole life because
Yeah.
you had to do this your entire life up until that point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sisola also says women always have to be hyper aware every single day. We are in fights or flight mode daily.
That is
Very
so
I
true.
was actually just gonna say that. I said
Yeah.
as soon as a girl child is born, we're already on what's it called? Defensive, high alert defense mode from
Yeah.
baby. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that goes on your whole life, really.
Yeah.
You
When
know,
you have those
it's
films
a
that say
crazy burden.
DEFCON, when you have those films that say DEFCON 1 or DEFCON 2, you know what I'm talking about. When there's an extraordinary event in the world, that's basically what we have to go through. We got this bell in our head where we have to be on literally high alert all the time. And it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, let's
Can you
move
read
on
Sister
to
Natu's comment? Welcome, Sister Natu.
wait, I dozed off one time in a bus, woke up and found a man's hand on my breast. He acted like he was sleeping. I don't understand.
How
Oh
does this
my
happen,
God.
please?
Oh my God.
This is what was saying. There was another video that went viral where it was at church, and the guy was throwing a paper underneath the chair of a woman so that he could pretend to go pick up what was under the chair to look underneath her dress.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of nonsense that they do. The kind of rubbish that they do. It's actually crazy.
It is. It is.
Anyway, let's can we play the next video?
Yeah,
Yes,
go
go
for it.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is a bit of a long video, but it's also very in-depth because it is something that is very concerning where Black women are concerned. It's something that a lot of Black women go through, and there's a very high chance, from what I have heard, that a lot of us on here have gone through very similar levels of neglect. So please listen and just follow. Thank you.
Out of breath. I could walk from here to the end of the room and I would feel like I'm dying. Like I went to my midwife and I was like, oh my God, like is this normal? I don't understand. She was like, yeah, you're carrying a child. There's a whole human inside of you. The baby is eating. Like I feel like the baby's eating me. Like that's the worst thing. It's so hard. It looks easy, guys. It is easy to a certain extent, but it's hard. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
On the night in question, Nicole had raised the alarm with Bogger that she wasn't feeling too well. She ended up collapsing. Now in that process, she had like shortness of breath, struggling to breathe. Bogger had tried to raise the alarm. He'd also called his neighbour who helped him contact the ambulance. That was a bit of a struggle, I think, initially. Bogger had called Nicole's mother, who was in London. For context, Bogger and Nicole were living outside of London. So Nicole's mum also called the ambulance from London and told told the London ambulance to put her through to the Yorkshire ambulance, and she raised alarm and asked for them to send an ambulance over to Nicole's home. The wrong category ambulance was sent to the home. I think 2 wrong units were sent, actually. It was actually the one that Nicole's mum had called that ended up being the right one for whatever reason. And there was delays as well with this, so just bear that in mind. When the ambulance eventually came, they took them to the hospital after they tried everything they could try within the home. Sadly, Bogger wasn't able to follow them in the ambulance for whatever reason. It might have been a COVID restriction thing, I don't know. When they got to the hospital, Rain was delivered, and Rain did live. Bogger got to see his son now, and obviously the grandma and granddad got to see their grandson. Sadly, Rain only lived for 7 hours, which is not great, obviously, but he was delivered. So that's essentially what happened on that day. Now, what we've come to learn is that Nicole had a heart condition called HTM. Now, I don't actually know, I can't pronounce what that stands for, but it's a heart condition that we've now learned is genetic, and it's actually the same condition that her grandmother died of in the 80s. Now, questions were raised during the inquest from the family as to why, when her grandmother died, the family weren't offered testing to rule out any of her kids having the condition, because if not treated properly, you will die from it, essentially. But it's not necessarily a death sentence. There are ways to navigate, obviously, around it. She said she raised the concerns about the shortness of breath with her midwife, and that her midwife said, it's fine, you're carrying a baby. On the inquest, I was there, I heard this with my own 2 ears. The midwife said there was no recollection or no recording, or there's no notes that stated that Nicole had ever raised shortness of breath as being a concern of hers during her pregnancy. Okay. They also then went on to say that if any person comes in, any pregnant woman comes in to see them or speaks to them on the phone and says, I'm struggling with shortness of breath, that it is part of their protocol to ensure that that person is checked to rule out anything sinister. Like I said, I was there, I heard it with my own 2 ears. Now, essentially what they're saying is, obviously there's no record of it on their system, so it didn't happen. That complaint to them wasn't made. Now, we know that Nicole was not preempting her death and wasn't trying to get or set anyone up when she said in the video, and I'm glad that she put that video out and said that she'd raised it with a midwife. So we have concerns around that, as you guys could understand. In terms of the outcome of the inquest, they've ruled everything as satisfactory, and that they don't believe that there could be anything could have been done to save Nicole or Rain. And so for them, there's no leg when it comes to like putting the liability on the hospital or on the ambulance service, which I will say out loud, I thoroughly disagree with. For those of you that watched that video, and for anyone that knows Nicole, and for Bogger himself, who has spoken about being there when she raised these concerns, and her mum being there when she's been on the phone and also raised these concerns, it's a bit shocking and startling to know that she said A and they're saying B. It's been recorded several times within the media that black women are 4 times more likely to die during pregnancy.
Guys, we should have actually put a trigger warning just in case, we're going to
Thing about my pregnancy is that I'm always out of.
Okay. Cece,
comments. Yes.
do you want to explain who Nicole was?
Yeah, please.
Or
Yeah, so
what?
I actually used to watch her. She's like, I have some random content. I love content that's just, fun and just here and there. So she used to be like, I mean, she was a YouTuber. She had like a good following on YouTube, and her partner, a guy called Boga, he was a Ghanaian guy. They used to do really cute content, and she was a dancer. She actually danced a lot. So she danced, and then they danced together, and then I think they got together. They were kind of doing like what's the thing, couple content, and their personalities were so cute. They were so cute together, and they got pregnant and they'd moved, so they were kind of documenting their journey like most young YouTubers do. And she was pregnant, and she was still very active, because she's like a dancer, so she would always be dancing. They would be doing all their content together, and they were really excited. And I remember she was 8 months pregnant, and then one day my daughter came because she knows I watch them, like they're just content that I just watch when I just want to chill. And my daughter came home one day and she was like, Mum, have you seen the news? And I was like, what's the news? And she's like, Nicole Thea has passed away. I screamed. I was like, what? I was like, no. I was like, why would you say that? And then she was like, yeah, the news is like she's passed away. I'm like, how? Because she had literally just posted content maybe a few days, that very video, she had posted it like a few days before because it was coming up to her. I think she'd even done like a baby shower or like a reveal or some kind of content, like they were showing the nursery. And when she said that, I was like, no, it must be one of these, like, when they always say, oh, this person has passed away and it's fake. So when I logged online, people were saying RIP, RIP. I said, how? And come to find, obviously, yes, it was true. Unfortunately, she had passed away. At the time, they thought that her child she had her unborn child had also passed away. People were confused. She was healthy. She was documenting herself, going for her scans, going for appointments. The girl was healthy. There was nothing wrong with her physically on the outside. So when she passed away, people were so confused, and then come to find that it looked like medical negligence, or as usual, a woman will complain that, she's not feeling well, something is not feeling right, she wasn't believed, and she'd actually put that video out saying, oh, guys, like, I don't get it because it was her first pregnancy. And she was like, oh, I was feeling like I can't breathe. I'll literally walk from one end of the room to the other side and I can't catch my breath. And she was just dismissed by her midwife, So she passed away, her child passed away. And unfortunately, this is very common, for Black women and women of other ethnic backgrounds, that we're more than 4 times likely to pass away during pregnancy and during childbirth, mainly because a lot of the times the systems, the medical professionals, you go in, you say, oh, I have this pain. They'll say, oh, no, it's fine. It's part of the pregnancy. They will not run any tests. They will not follow up. They'll just dismiss you. I think a lot of people say that they're constantly dismissed when something doesn't feel right, even though they can't put a name to that feeling. It's just a feeling. They're always dismissed. And then for some women, tragic things happen. It's not always a pie-in situation, like unfortunately Nicole's situation. It's always they either end up having a really stressful birth, which then gives them PTSD for the next time because they didn't like the way that they were dealt with, maybe in their first pregnancy, second pregnancy, and it's just ongoing. It's for a lot of things. It's not even just childbirth and pregnancy. I've had this in my own personal with a medical issue that I've been battling for like 4 years that I've just now finally got resolved after constantly trying to advocate for myself and being dismissed. So it happens all the time, unfortunately, and I don't know why. I really don't know why.
It's quite sad that, even now, we as women, that we need to constantly continue to fight for ourselves. But like I say, since there's nobody out there that's going to help us, we need to keep talking. Nicole's case is one that kind of breaks me every time I get a reminder of what happened to that young lady, because I felt like throughout her journey, if you watch her videos, especially when she got pregnant, she carried everybody along, through her journey. And there was a point where she was talking about, the way she breathes, having short breaths and all that. And, between the video, there were, I would believe that the midwife would have been able to figure out, she needed to get checked, she needed to get tested, something needed to be done. But that's part of the negligence that we talk about, in the rate at which Black women in general pass away during, pregnancy and childbirth. As a people, we just need to, at this point, with everything happening, we just need to keep talking. We need to keep speaking up for ourselves. We're in a society where people are trying, the ones that speak up for the other people, their voices aren't as loud as those people that come out to say the negatives. Bad news always travels fast. Nicole's case is one that happened that, a lot of people that didn't know her when she was doing well and was alive found out about her, unfortunately, after she passed away within 24 hours. Her name was everywhere in the world, pretty much. That's how bad, that's how quick bad news travels. But when everything was good, she was only in her circle with the people that knew her own community. So, being this is to say, it's sad that we're in that's the society that we're in, but we need to continue to talk about these things. We need to continue to talk about what's going on and how we can support one another, and not have to wait for anyone. It is sad.
And then we also have the case of, I mean, this is a current one. We didn't want to play the video because I felt like it would start going down, but just to say that this is still happening. There's the case of the 31-year-old pregnant woman in Georgia, Adriana Smith, who has been kept alive on life support for, I think, over 4 months after she was declared brain dead, right, in February, because doctors wanted her to deliver her baby. That's a separate thing, but what made her pass away is that they found, was it blood clots on her brain? She had gone into hospital. I think she was, what would that be, 6 months, 5 months pregnant. She had gone in complaining of like severe headache, migraine. They told her, oh no, there's nothing wrong, take, I don't know, paracetamol, whatever. They just told her to go back with medication, and then the next day this young lady passed away. And they found out that she had loads of blood clots, so this was something that could have been avoided had the doctor just said, okay, a pregnant woman comes in with anything, they should normally run tests, even to double check, even if it is just a headache. It doesn't take anything away from you just to run tests, just to be sure. They dismissed her, they sent her away, and I think she'd been having headaches before, but this just happened to be a really severe one. And then unfortunately, this young woman passed away, and then that was the end of her life. Again, dismissed, ignored, palmed off, sent away, and that was the end of her. So, Abby, what are your thoughts?
Just like Sissy, I used to watch Nicole and Boga. Their full-time jobs were actually dancers. They were not just dancers, but they used to literally grace the stages of well-known artists. They were a big deal in that industry. And obviously they met through dancing and became a couple. It was just a very, very sad situation, honestly. And it just keeps happening. Almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we all have our own experiences. And about 2.5 years ago, I woke up feeling really, really, I was in pain. It had started as lower back pain. And I just thought to myself, I was moving, right? Or I was moving things around my room. And I thought to myself, you know what? You've been lifting a bit heavy. Maybe that's why. Day 2, day 3, at this point, I was in pain. I could barely stand. But in usual fashion, which is what we always say about Black women as well, and wanting to appear stronger. And because I had previously had experiences where they just told me to drink water and take paracetamol, I just always thought, it's long going to the GP. I don't want to go to the GP, right? So I ended up leaving it and just thinking that, you know what, I'll take painkillers. Tell me why randomly at 3 a.m. I could not move. I could not breathe. I was struggling. I got to A&E now, and they asked me a couple of questions. Someone in pain, give me painkillers. They felt, first of all, I had to wait 3 hours to be attended to after being booked in by the counter service, the ones in front. I don't know, it's receptionist or whatever you call them. And I waited 3 hours, even after they saw that I had shortness of breath. It turned out that, so that night, they gave me painkillers, asked me a few questions about my history. Mind you, I never had any health issues. Do you know that when they asked me a question if I had gone through anything significant, recently. And I told them my mom just passed 6 months ago, and an engagement just got called off. I was with my brother, and it was actually him that said that's all, nothing else. And then, these people ruled it as stress. That, chances are I'm just heartbroken, I'm stressed. It wasn't up to 24 hours. I was on the floor grasping for air. This whole time, I had the pulmonary embolism. I had a blood clot in my lung. And these people gave me painkillers. That was when my dad said no. My dad took the next flight to Lagos and he said, we are done with the NHS. And that is why I've said it on a few live streams. I go private now for everything. Yes, it is expensive, but I think for my dad, it was a case of I cannot afford to lose anybody again, not especially if I can help it, right? And he got into panic mode and said, no, we're not doing this with the NHS. So these people left me. At this point, they even had the audacity to say that, oh my God, in another 5 minutes, she might have had a stroke. But I was here yesterday and you ignored me and gave me Panadol and told me that it's because of heartbreak and my mother passing that I'm feeling this pain. And you can see that I can't even stand up right. You can see that I'm gasping for air. That was when they even took me seriously, at the point where you're now worried about a possible stroke. So we've all been there. And it's crazy that was my own first experience and it had to go that left. And that's the one experience that I have against that system, where I've now been in a situation where, okay, yes, I pay my taxes and all of that stuff, but I just realized that I never want to be a part of the statistics if I can help it. And if just paying a little bit more money elsewhere will save my life. So even I have experienced it, and it's something that traumatizes me because I could actually feel myself going. I could feel myself crying, and you don't believe me, So yes,
which is well, we thank God for your life that we're here, we're doing TSC, but that's crazy. And the fact that when young people come in with some of these things, the way that I feel like when you're younger, they even dismiss you more. When to me, it would be worrying that somebody who's young, healthy, has had no previous kind of illnesses, or is not a regular person in the hospital, there's no medical issues in their notes, that should be a concern. That should be making the doctors think, why would this young person be coming to the hospital with something so extreme? But no, they'll be, oh, it's stress, oh, it's weight, oh, maybe you need to exercise more, whatever, they're just not quick to act. And God forbid if anything had happened, what would they say now? They'll be doing news presentations saying, oh, we wish we could have, shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's not good enough. The issue, I had an issue, I mentioned, like, this issue is like a fibroid issue. I've had this thing since 2019. It just came from nowhere. And I know my cycle. I've been having periods since I was 9 years old, right? I know my body. I'm in my 30s, like in my mid 30s now, right? So I think I'm the best person to know if something is off with my body. What I hate about the medics generally, you tell them your symptoms, and they will go by what is standard to them in terms of their textbook. If it doesn't add up with what they've read in their textbook, it's not possible. I was having this issue ongoing. 2020, my periods just became, sorry guys, TMI. It's graphic. So if you don't like gory stuff, maybe exit and come back. So periods became crazy. My periods used to be like clockwork. I could time those periods. They would come 3 days max. Not very painful. It would be heavy, medium, ended on the 3rd day for years. No problems. 2019, my period just started moving mad. I thought, okay, maybe it's, maybe it could be age. It could be like adding weight, whatever. I didn't think anything about it. Left it like that. Continued. Like Abby said, sometimes things happen to us women. We're just like, just plod along. I was taking medication, managing the pain. The pain got worse. The bleeding got worse. The bleeding got longer. I remember there was a time during COVID, I had a menstrual cycle for 4 months. 4 months.
What?
You heard me. I was bleeding for 4 freaking months. And my doctor was like, it may be hormonal. I was like, what are you saying? I changed my doctor. I was like, something is wrong. Can you send me for a checkup? And obviously, they tell you don't go on Google, don't check Google. But I was checking Google. I was putting my symptoms, and my symptoms were saying it could be endometriosis, it could be PCOS, it could be fibroids, all of these things. And I was telling my doctor, I'm like, can you check me for this? But they were like, because you've never had this symptom before, your age, blah blah blah, it wouldn't be likely that it was that. These people refused to send me for scan until one day I was at work. I had this cycle. I was like in the 2nd month of this cycle. No, of this continuous cycle. This cycle had been going for 2 months. Guys, I went into the bathroom because I felt myself filling up in like pad or whatever. As I got off from the chair at work, the whole seat was full with blood. And my manager was like, oh my God, I had to go to A&E. I had to drive myself to A&E. Imagine I drove myself to A&E. As I got out of my car, all I felt was like, unless you've been pregnant, you wouldn't understand. I felt this gush like water. It was blood.
Jesus Christ.
I walked into the A&E, and as the woman saw me, she was just like, I was pooling, like blood just pooling around me. And thank God I was wearing like dark trousers, and but I literally came out of the car. There was like, it was a crime scene. And the woman was like, oh, can I, they tried to check you in. And I was like, I was screaming. I was like, I need to see a doctor. I need to see a doctor. And then they were looking at me, seeing me pooling. And the woman was like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I literally was like, I need to see a doctor. I need to see a doctor. They got somebody like wheelchair, wheeled me in. Guys, it was a crime scene. They took everything off and they were like, where is the bleeding coming from? They couldn't work out I was just bleeding like, I don't even understand. And the stupid question, they kept on asking me, are you having, they kept on saying, this is not normal. Are you pregnant? Are you having like a miscarriage? I'm like, I'm not pregnant. But they were still insisting that maybe I'm pregnant and I'm having a miscarriage. That's what's happening. I said, I'm not pregnant. I'm not pregnant. But I've been having this issue, like this continuous bleeding, and nobody's doing anything. So anyways, long story short, they had to take me to like check me in. That's the first time I actually stayed in hospital, put me on some IV to give me medication. I don't know what the medication was, but to stop the bleeding. I didn't stop bleeding until like the next day. Can you imagine how much blood I would have lost? Just my mom was stressed. My kids were stressed. Guys, it was so traumatic. And even after all of that, they referred me to my GP and said, oh, they need to do a scan. Anyways, they did scan. They now realized that, oh, there's fibroid, right? They've been telling me, oh, we can now see fibroid. I said, okay. Is this not what I've been telling you from 2019? This was like 2021. This happened. 2021, this happened. I finally got whatever it was. They said it's fibroid. I said, okay, thank God. What are we going to do? They didn't do anything. They said, oh, we'll manage it, give you contraception, put IUD. They put IUD. It took away the pain because I used to get chronic pain. That I've had 2 kids and the pain was like I was giving birth, but even worse, right? It toppled me over, and I was so glad that now I was working from home full time. And they kept on sending me saying, oh, you have, we'll just manage it with IUD. And I was like, there has to be something else because I'm still not getting comfort from the bleeding, because they said that the IUD would stop the bleeding or whatever. The bleeding was not stopping. The bleeding was kind of the same, not as long as like 2 months, 3 months, but it was still like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. And my iron was super low. And it was just, guys, it was making me so miserable. It was making me so miserable. Until I just decided, you know what, I'm going private. I'm sick of this crap. I went private and everything was done from the time of me going in, having my consultation, being properly assessed. They had to do a laparoscopy, which is put me into surgery, put a camera to actually look at my cavities, like look at my uterus to check what was going on. And they found that actually the fibroids that they've been telling me is in one position is completely in another place. The procedure they need to do is a completely different procedure. it's more extensive. So, anyways, they finally removed the fibroid, and all of this was done in about 2 months. So something that I've been battling for almost 5 years, it was literally done in 2 months. Why? Is it because I'm black? And a lot of my friends who are having these issues, similar issues, whether it's endometriosis, I have a friend who was diagnosed after years and years and years, they just kept on sending her back with paracetamol. This girl had endometriosis that was so bad, they had to remove her fallopian tube. And as we speak now, she's married and she's struggling with fertility issues because she was just completely misdiagnosed for years, to the point where her fallopian tube, they had to remove it. And I hear this a lot. So, guys, I don't know. Over to the panel. What are your thoughts?
What do we do? Because this issues like this are so.
I'm so sorry I had to go through that, but can I just quickly read a few comments and then
Sorry, guys.
Babe can add, and then we'll just move on. Cincinnati says, my auntie was having a baby and was having contractions. The nurses said she was lying, that she does not look like she's having a baby, but came and gave her a bed anyway. She sneezed and the baby came out. Oh. Sis Arakemi says, in some cases, some medics just overlook these complaints, not knowing these cases are peculiar to each one. Sometimes they feel they've seen it all and the women are being ignored. It's crazy.
I believe so, yeah.
Missy says, Black women in diaspora constantly have to advocate for patient relationships. They are misconstrued as difficult patients if they speak up for their rights. And also, medical negligence is high. Absolutely. Arekemi also says, I suffered a similar situation in Nigeria with my first pregnancy. I didn't know anything, and I relied solely on the medics. Cool Mama says, I almost lost my life with my third child. It's really hard on women of color. I used to watch Nicole. Very sad. Absolutely. This Lola says, it's a combination of factors, but mostly because we are ignored and not believed. True. Auntie Inku says, these are the conversations we need to continue to have. Absolutely. We have to speak up, and that's the only way we can maybe get some change. The way they trivialize medical related issues weakens me. I agree. I just wanted to say thank you to Sis Teju for being.
Thank you, Sis Teju.
Thank you for becoming a member. Yeah, Auntie Inku's over to you.
Yeah, so I wanted to also bring up my experience. It's funny how, well, not funny, but it's a good thing that we have conversations like this, and it kind of reminds us of what we've gone through as individuals. I remember this story is, my son is 18 years old now, so I'm going to tell the story. I've said it before with other people, but no one has pretty much heard it online. I call him my miracle son. I had him when he was 7 months. So I was 7 months pregnant when I had to do an emergency C-section. What happened? I had the first pregnancy. It was perfect. I did no problem. Of course, within that first pregnancy, I gained 54 pounds. I was extremely heavy. Now, come the second one, we just got married at the time with the first child. It wasn't, we just got a house. Things were tight, so it's not like I didn't put money into, being the yummy mommy and all of that, into outfits and all. Now, my second one, I was pregnant with him. Things were better for us. I was ready with the yummy mommy, all of that. I got, cute maternity outfits that I can wear and still go to work and still feel good. How is it that 6 months down the line, which normally when I'm pregnant, within 2 weeks, I don't need any doctor or anyone to tell me that I'm pregnant. I don't even have to miss my period. My body just changes. And I can know, I will tell that there's something different about it. Now, second one came, I got pregnant. Of course, 2 weeks came. I was already gaining weight. Like water weight was something that would happen with me all the time. I would go, I never missed my doctor's appointment. Never. From the time that I started having to go, which I believe was maybe 10 or 12 weeks, I started going for my appointments, never missed one. Every time I went, they weighed me. I weighed exactly the same. Every time I went, they weighed me. I weighed exactly the same. As a matter of fact, by the time people knew that I was pregnant, it looked like I just got pregnant. But by this time, I was already 7 months gone. Every time I go into the doctor's office, I will let them know I've had a child before. I always gain weight. I don't know what's going on. Something is off. And the doctor would always say, you don't, not every, you don't have to gain weight with every baby. Of course, for me, it was a plus because which means I don't have to do a lot of work when I have the baby, right? To get back to my size. But I knew something wasn't right because why am I not gaining any weight? And I'm eating, but I was, I was eating like normal. I'm not one that eats a lot, but I was eating everything that I was supposed to eat and I wasn't gaining any weight.
Wow.
By the time by the time it was my son was I was 6 months pregnant. I think I'd gained between the beginning and the end. I was like 10 pounds was all I had gained. 10. And you can even tell all my clothes still fit. I didn't have any issues. How is it that 7 months I was supposed to go for my appointment? For some reason, I didn't go. I don't know what happened. I missed my date. And my mother-in-law was here with us. And she kept saying, you need to go. You need to call your doctor because she was very worried that I was not gaining any weight. So she will make me plantain, like the green heavy plantain, and I will eat that. Before I went to work in the morning, my mom would actually literally stand in our kitchen, she would make breakfast and give me the plantain that I needed to eat it. It's like she had this sense that something was wrong. But every time I went to the doctor, they said everything was fine. The baby is measuring well. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I missed my appointment that day, and my mother-in-law said, "You need to make an appointment. You need to go." So I called the doctor's office. I said, "Okay, I needed to come. That I missed my appointment. They give me another one." I went there, and for the first time, I saw a doctor in that place that I'd never seen before. Now, this is a practice that has many doctors, so it depends on who's on the schedule for that day. So this doctor came in, tested me. She did all the scanning. She said, "How many months pregnant are you?" I said, 7. She looked at my chart, looked on the screen, did the ultrasound. She says, But she was like trying not to make me worry. I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Nothing." She kept measuring my stomach, measuring everything. The next thing I got the letter, she said, "You need to go to the hospital." I went to the hospital. I'm calling my husband. I'm like, "I don't know what's going on, but something is off." Now, when I got there, was the doctor that checked me at the clinic was already there waiting for me. I didn't know she was going to be there. She said, "Well, I just needed you to come in because something is wrong. The baby is not growing. And if we leave this baby in there for the next 24 hours, your placenta is already shutting down and the baby is going to be gone." And that's how we went from going to just a regular doctor's, me going for my 7-month checkup to having to do an emergency C-section unexpectedly. Meanwhile, I'm calling my husband, letting him know what's going on. I'm calling mama, letting her know what's going on. And the C-section had to be so fast that by the time they started to cut me the first time before anesthesia kicked in, I felt the cut. That's how quickly they had to move to get this baby out of me. My blood pressure was going up, the child was going down. Now, why did we have to get to this point where this was happening? Because I always voiced out my concern. I always talked about me not gaining weight. I knew something was off. My body was telling me, everything was telling me that something was off. When I gave birth to my son, my son was 3 pounds 1 ounce. My son was 3 pounds 1 ounce, and I didn't see the baby because me seeing the baby, they didn't know if it was going to survive. They didn't know what the issue was. So they showed me a picture. A picture of my son was all I saw, and they magnified the picture so that it looked like it was a big baby. My husband ended up going to after the C-section, my husband saw the baby because it was right in the room, but he didn't say anything. Now, when they brought the baby's picture to me, I was like, okay, it looks okay. My husband kept reassuring me that everything was good. Of course, they did all the testing. And guess what saved me, guys? Guess what? The plantain that mama had
Plantain.
been giving me. The green plantain my mama has been giving me. This boy's bones were strong. He didn't have any fat. He was skinny. He looked like an old grandpa, but his bones were iron. That's what saved me. And that's why that boy is still alive. When I went for my first checkup after the baby, which was I think 8 weeks after birth, the doctor asked me, "Is the baby alive?" Because he's the obstetrician, right? He's not the pediatrician. So once you have the baby, they hand off the baby to the pediatrician and they focus on the mother. So they didn't know what happened to the baby, but they're expecting that the baby won't make it. But did anybody say anything? Like at the point, I was like, we need to sue these people. My husband said, "You know what? Let's just thank God that you're alive and this baby's alive because as of the morning of that day, nobody knew I was going to be having a baby." Nobody knew that I was even that far gone, that to have a whole 7-month-old baby. So these are the issues. These are the talks that we need to continue to have. Like, I spoke up for myself because I knew something was wrong. But what are we supposed to do when nobody's listening? What do we do?
Oh, honey, babe, go for it, sis.
I'm so sorry, Auntie Yankees.
I'm so sorry,
Oh,
Sister
we
Yinka.
thank God.
But we
Yeah.
thank God that
We thank God. Yes.
you and your son are alive.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Green bananas for the win.
Yes.
A lot of real life experiences. Yeah, really touching my heart and everything. I definitely agree with what you're saying. To me, it's not just a case of mixed diagnosis. I think sometimes it's intentional because there is this perception that us as Black women, we are superhuman. You know, that you hear this myth that people think that when we go through childbirth that we don't feel the pain. I don't know where they get that idea. I give you a story in regards to my sister. My sister is younger than me, and I remember when she was about 12 or 13, you know how you have your backpack for secondary school, and my mom noticed that she was leaning to the right. So my mom said, okay, let's go to the GP. Let's see what's going on because I'm a bit concerned. And the GP said, oh, there's nothing wrong. It's the way she's leaning. Can you imagine the way she's leaning? So at that time, I think 12, 13, you're not fully grown. Obviously, she's a girl. So she's not like my son who's 13, that is literally nearly 6 foot. Girls are different. So I remember my mum, she was working for TFL. If you know what TFL is, it's the London Transport. So so she got Bupa, which is private medical. So my mum said, let us get a private scan. So my sister went, I followed her, and I went with my mum. My dad was working, so couldn't make it. And guess what? The diagnosis was she had an S spine. So scoliosis, if you know what that is when your spine is like in an S. So she basically, if we hadn't have addressed it, she would have literally been a hunchback.
Oh my God.
Yes. So thank God my mom utilized the private health scheme and she was able to get a diagnosis. And personally, I don't know, I don't want to assume, but obviously they didn't take my mom or my sister seriously. So they said that thank God we had diagnosed it early, because if you wait until you're 15, it will be harder to correct it. So can you imagine, we had to go to Stanmore Hospital because that's where the best hospitals that deal with this procedure. And they had to cut my sister's back open and put braces in her back. And she had an allergic reaction to it. And I remember I was in uni. They called me that my sister had an emergency reaction. I had to drive from my university all the way to Stanmore. And I was crying the whole way driving back to see my sister. And we could have lost her because unfortunately she had an allergic reaction to the anesthetic. Now, what was really crazy is that they had to obviously put the brace to stretch her, because obviously she has an S spine. And then there was a case where she had to wear a brace for a year and a half. Even up until now, she's 40 something and she still has the massive scar because she had to have metal pins in her back for almost a year. And even now, she's not fully straight. And it's really kind of upsetting, but we thank God at the same time that they caught it. But if my mum had allowed that doctor to me kind of gaslight her into thinking nothing was wrong, when she noticed that my sister, her daughter was leaning to the left, it would have been something else. So I'm just giving you that experience because that was quite shocking for me in realizing that why would they not take my mum or my sister seriously? And I think everyone else's experiences highlights this the problem that we have, where I'm trying not to believe there's racial bias, but there is. We need to be very candid in that. And I think it's unfortunate. We just have to keep speaking up for ourselves, keep talking about it, and keep advocating for ourselves. Thank God that my mum had private healthcare. Could you imagine if she didn't? It would have been an absolute nightmare to get someone to listen to my mum that there's an issue with my sister's back. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of like give you my own personal experience in terms of what happened to my sister. Thank you.
I wanted to just say one thing real quick before we move on. I wanted to bring up that the doctor that I saw that day that I'd never ever seen in my life, she was an African American woman. Every other doctor that I had seen before then, this is a practice. So there are a whole bunch of doctors that work together. They put you on a schedule, and whatever doctor is on call on the schedule for that day is who you get to see. So you don't have, but then your main doctor will deliver the baby, right? So you would have your doctor, your own particular doctor deliver the baby, but within the course of you being seen, you get seen by all these other doctors. Whoever is on schedule for that day gets to see you. This woman, this is the first time I've laid my eyes on this Black woman who I will forever be grateful for. All the other people were of the other race, both men and women, and nobody listened. Nobody. Several times I ended up in the emergency room because for some reason I would sit at home and I would just feel like something is wrong. So I would go to the emergency room and actually make up a story so that I can be seen, so that somebody can do a test. Nobody did anything. All they would do is take their stethoscope and check and let me go home. And this is the reason why I have the gap between my second child and my third, because at this point, I'm like, I don't think I want to do this again because I don't want to lose my life. I don't know what's going to happen. But I decided to lean on God and give it one more shot. So,
But can I say something? Yeah, can I say something? I remember when, because what happened is that I obviously was pregnant with my my second son when I was 39. So technically in the UK, it's a geriatric pregnancy, right? And I remember they got me a consultant, and the plan is that they actually on the exactly 9 months, they actually chose the date of when I will be induced and when I was going to have the baby. They were actually fantastic, but I remember there was a time where they induced me and they were for a moment were saying maybe you can push, and I shouldn't say this, but there was a Nigerian lady that I think she was a midwife for checking me, and she had the audacity to say to me, why are you having a C-section? Why can't you push? I told her to get the F out of my room, and I reported her because I was quite, why would you say that to me? Obviously, I couldn't push because I didn't realize, and I think I said it before, the cord was round, my son's cord was round his neck. So obviously we had to do a C-section. But there's even bias from your own people. So I think we need to mention that as well.
Absolutely. I would say that same for me. It was a Black lady the second time around that decided, she was even leaving the hospital when she saw me, and she started to stay a couple hours past her shift to ensure that her colleagues saw me and treated me right. A Nigerian lady. So yeah. I'm going to read a few more comments, and we're going to move on. I'm also going to share the link, so please feel free to jump on if you have anything to share or any suggestions, or maybe you're a healthcare professional. Just feel free to join the conversation anyway. That's the link right there. Okay. This is Pappy. He says, from the instances given, it's obvious that most of the issues were caused by human error or going by assumption instead of proper diagnosis. It's a pity many lives were lost like this. Uncle Dayo, in my opinion, I think he's past human error.
it's fast.
Like we said, a lot of these things are not just as a result of human error. They don't even try. You have to do tests, you have to check people out for you to have an accurate, or at least have a diagnosis. It's not a matter of if it's accurate or they missed something.
They're not even doing it.
In the UK, they tend to send us away a lot with painkillers and water. It's actually a thing, and rest is nonsense. So I don't think that's the issue. Uncle Daya also says we need to start holding some people accountable for this. Absolutely.
Yes.
Sister Milade says, I'm a healthcare professional. My advice to always have a second or even third consult when you're having a concern about any issue. Also be persistent when concerned and ask for a further test. I agree, but it's just sad that we have to do all of that. CC, it's racial bias. Always the date points to it. Always.
The data, sorry.
Always the data points to it. We are tired.
Definitely.
Sister Milade says again, there is racial bias in healthcare in Western countries. Absolutely. We need more Black healthcare professionals in various medical specialty. I agree. Zeno says the bias sometimes is unintentional. The bias sometimes unintentional cannot be denied. People, please take a second to recognize your bias. I agree. I'm going to play the last video. Well, we have 2 more videos, and then I think we can. Sister Natu is also here. Welcome, Sister Natu.
Hey, Sister Natu.
Are you here?
Hey, I'm here.
Hey,
Sister
sis.
Natu.
Yes.
I'm going to play
Yeah.
next couple videos so that we can just take it as a whole and just have a proper conversation. Anyone that wants to come up should come up, and we can continue the show as usual.
Here's why I don't date Black women. Listen to me when I'm talking to you lot.
I'm listening.
Because you lot don't like to listen. I don't date Black women because you don't like to get put in your place. And when you get your place. And when you get put in your place, you think you got taught like a man.
That's why they were cheating on you then.
You're not men.
That's why they were
Watch
cheating
this.
on you.
Stay in your place.
Cheated on you multiple times.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I know.
you
And that's
put no
why
one in
I'm
their
never going to
place.
be in your pom pom
That's why you
ever
had to
again.
go dip out the pool
I'm not with
because
Black
you
women
control
because you don't like to
nobody.
get put in your place.
Apologies,
Listen,
sir.
listen. Apologies where?
Apologies.
Oh wait, you just wait. Did she just shoot? Did she just shoot?
What kind of
Did she just shoot? Go. Where's your hair? Where's your hair? Where's your hair?
Once you talk about Black women's hair, you're on your own, my guy. You're on your own. I was with you. Like, he's allowed to have a preference. You know, he's trying to talk about how she's held him down and picking up his Asian queen. But the moment you went for the hair, my guy, you was on your own. You're gonna have to deal with it. Yeah. You're gonna have to deal with this by yourself, my brother.
Take off your head,
triggered.
Where's your hair?
You're triggered.
Where's your hair?
Where
I'm
was that
triggered.
supposed to hurt?
I said I was
You're
triggered.
triggered.
Did I not say I was triggered? Where's your hair?
No.
Where's your hair?
Look at where's your hair?
Show me your hair.
No. He's
Show me your hair.
pressed. He's
Show me your hair.
pressed.
Take off your eyelash. Take off your eyelash.
You're pressed.
Take off your makeup.
You're pressed
I'll
because
bring
you got
watch this.
cheated on 1, 2, 3, 4.
Where? Watch
1,
this.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
6, 7, 8.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Jumped it.
And I'll bring my natural hair Indian woman in here now.
And then what?
she looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on your guard.
But the
No,
crowd
shut
was
up, man.
silent. The crowd
Out
was
here
silent.
with fake hair, fake
The crowd was
eyelashes.
silent.
I'm sorry, I got a laugh. I've watched it so many times. So funny. Madness.
Sister Natu, take it
What
away.
was that again? What was that again? Okay. That's by the way, it wasn't actually this video that brought me in. So I heard all your stories. You guys are doing amazing. And I'm so happy that we have places like this to be able to share stories and be vulnerable. So I think what happened to me was that when I think I came to America 2009, and I had a surgery in Nigeria before I came. So you know how Nigerian surgeries are. So I had a scar tissue. So the scar tissue was not affecting me. It was it was that time of the month. I have like severe pain around that scar tissue. I can't even wear anything that would touch it because it drives me nuts. And I went to the hospital and I didn't have insurance. So they asked me to go apply I was just doing like a minimum wage job at that time. They asked me to go get insurance. And I went to get the insurance. So don't forget, I came out, I was 27. So, I'm like working, taking care of my bills and everything. So I didn't go back to school at that time. So I had to do all the extra hours to get the money. Do you know that I was declining insurance because I was making $100 more to get free insurance? So they want me to go get the one that I will pay. And that the one that I will pay is like one of my paychecks and doesn't cover everything. And that's how I had to deal with that thing for like another 4 years before I was able to get insurance. And by the time I got insurance, it has done more damage than it had in the beginning. And they found out that it was fluid collection in one of my tubes, and the tubes had sagged, and they had to take the tube out. They had to take fibroid out. They had to take scar tissue out. So, and when we talk about advocating for ourselves, if you don't do it, like you're on your own, honestly speaking. And yeah, and people was like, oh, but we're always doing, and sometimes people take a, we're not gonna stop. You can't just stop talking about it. We can't stop talking about it. I had a near-death experience again here. One time I had a bowel obstruction. Guys, this thing where they go bathroom, they go do for free. It almost spiked my life. Bowel obstruction. And I told my husband, oh, can you, when you're ready, he came back from work. I'm like, babe, when you shower and change, can you take me to the ER? The way he saw my eyes turn, he's like, shower where? The way he grabbed me, like, madam, let's be going. I kind of went to the hospital. Before you know, they had tubes in my nose, everything to evacuate what I had in my stomach because it was crazy. And a couple of days later, I had a surgery. So if I had stayed at home and maybe say, let me take a pain reliever and maybe take something that will make me sleep, you understand what I'm saying? But because I decided to speak up for myself, I went to the hospital and the lady that saw me at the ER, she was kind of like wasting time. I just called my doctor. I'm like, I'm at the ER. I feel like I'm dying. These people are playing with me. And he had to call them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So sometimes, like my auntie's story that I shared, I said she was having a baby. My mom lost her first son because she was in labor and she told them, and they said, oh, you're not due yet. She said yes, but she feels like she's in labor. She wants to have a premature baby. And they just put her in a room in February with window open. And before you know it, this woman had the baby in that room and she called the nurse. My mom still remember the nurse's name, the day, the time, and the hospital it happened. This thing happened in 1979. And this lady came and just opened the blanket and said, oh, it's true, she had the baby. And she left the blanket open and went to get the things to come clean the baby. And the baby never made it. He was a preemie. So, and it was that part of that that made me explain to say that a mother never gets over the pie of a child. That happened in 1979. We are in what, 2025? Most still talk about it with so much bitterness. So that's why you see like I'm so much passionate about health and the things I'm doing, even though what I've been through was not related to breast cancer, but because I have been through that twice, listen, I saw my eyes flash before my eyes. The one that happened in Nigeria was that I was in a hospital. I was complaining of stomach pain. Tell me why they did not ask me to do a scan. They kept me in the hospital for 3 days. They were giving me drip and pain reliever, and they ended up discharging me. And I was at home. My parents traveled, and one of my classmates came to see me. And I said, 16, I think I should go do a scan. And he said, really, the scan place is on his way home. He can drop me. Ladies and gentlemen, my parents came when they were preparing me for the theater. That was how Natu Suzy survived. I'm just telling you. The doctor now asked me, who brought you? I said, my friend. He said, did you walk with your legs? I said, yes. He said, you need a surgery. I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, you need a surgery. You need to call now. You need to deposit this and that and that. And he had a private hospital. Do you know that the doctor was able to was willing to even sacrifice and do the surgery before my parents come? Because I was old enough to sign. Before my parents come, he doesn't have to wait for the money to come. He just wants to save my life. Do you understand what I'm saying? So imagine if I didn't take myself to the hospital that day. I felt like I was there 4 days. I'm complaining of stomach. Why didn't they ask me to do a scan? No, they didn't ask me. 4 days. That happened in Nigeria. And then the last one that happened here when I had anemia, and my friend had a new doctor, and I took the doctor out. I can't sleep. I take that view, I can't sleep. But deep within me, my husband was like, oh, you're tired. Like he gave me breaks, like don't cook, don't sweep, don't do when you come back, just bath, eat and shower, then shower and eat and sleep, rest. But that time we're living in a one bedroom and it's just two of us. But I can't sweep the whole house. The house is not big, but I just can't sweep that whole house because I just feel like faint. I feel faint, faint, faint. And when I spoke to that doctor, she said, okay, we'll do a test. And she decided to run a full blood test and found out that I had anemia because I had fibroid and my PVC had dropped and I was like below 5. I was supposed to be above 11. So remember the story I shared with you guys the other day? That was how I survived. So she said in situations where you see when they say people just slumped and hide, she's like a lot of times this is what happens to them. The PVCs are low and they don't even know it. I was like at the point of crying on my way. But God said, come back here, I'll walk with you. So honestly, we can't stop. So imagine if I didn't go to the doctor. I just went for a regular checkup. I didn't go for anything. I just said, let me just go to the doctor and change and do everything and do blood work. And that's how I ended up with this. So sometimes, like, honestly speaking, sometimes I have to speak to our people that live abroad. Sometimes we're too busy. I'm like, oh, I'm just tired. I wish I have time. Make out time, make out time. You have to make out time to check yourself. That's why if in my house, if you say your finger is paining you, I'm sending you money to go to the hospital. If you say one fly passed by your eye, I'm sending you money to go and check if the fly pooped in your eye or not, because I'm not here to play. So sometimes we need to take initiative because sometimes we don't feel it all the way. We'll just be like, maybe small rest. Maybe if you just feel anything, please check it.
Thank
Check
God.
it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sis Natu. We're glad
Thank
you're
you,
My
on.
Nat.
pleasure.
It's
Yes, I'm here.
I'm going to take a few comments and I will move on to the next segment of the show, please. Missy said, shame, shame, shame. Shame, shame, shame on that child of a man. Disgusting. Cece, again, what are black men doing? Actually. Okay, is everybody here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
you.
Can
Okay,
hear you.
we're going to
Yeah, we
take a
can.
break and then we're going to move on to the next segment. All right, welcome back, everybody. I am going to play that video again to refresh
Again?
our to refresh our memory, and then we're going to talk about this video. And Uncle Ben is now here with us, so maybe we can get him answer.
Thank
Yay.
you. Be welcome.
Uncle Ben, no.
You
Speak
be
from different
Welcome.
brotherhood.
How you be?
Here's why I don't date black women. Listen to me when I'm talking to you lot.
I'm listening.
Because you lot don't like to listen. I don't date black women because you don't like to get put in your place.
Which place?
Your place.
Which
and when you
place?
get put in your place, you think you got taught like a man.
That's why they were
You're not
cheating
a man.
on you then.
You're not men.
That's why they were
Watch
cheating
this.
on you.
Stay in your place.
Cheated on you multiple
Black women.
times.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I
you
know.
put
And
no
that's
one
why
in
I'm
their
never going to
place.
be in your
That's why you
ever
have to go
again.
and dip out the pool
I'm not with
because
black
you can
women
control
because you don't like to
nobody.
get put in your place.
Apologies,
Listen,
sir.
listen.
Apologies.
where?
Apologies.
Oh wait, you just wait. Did she just shoot? Did she just shoot?
What kind of
Did she just shoot? Go. Where's your hair? Where's your hair? Where's your hair? Once you talk about black women's hair, you're on your own, my guy. You're on your own. I was with you. Like, he's allowed to have a preference. You know, he's trying to talk about how she's held him down and picking up his Asian queen. But the moment you went for the hair, my guy, you was on your own. You're gonna have to deal with it. Yeah. You're gonna have to deal with this by yourself, my brother. Take off your head,
triggered.
Where's your hair?
You're triggered.
Where's your hair?
Where
I'm
was that
triggered.
supposed to hurt?
I said I was
You're
triggered.
triggered.
Did I not say I was
No.
triggered? Where's your hair?
No.
Where's your hair?
Look at where's your hair?
Show me your hair.
No, he's
Show me your hair.
pressed. He's
Show me your hair.
pressed.
Take off your eyelash. Take off your eyelash.
You're pressed.
Take off your makeup.
You're
I'll
pressed because
bring
you got
watch this.
cheated on one, two, three, four.
Where? Watch
1,
this.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
6, 7, 8.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Jumping.
And I'll bring my natural hair Indian woman in here now.
And then what?
she looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on your ground.
But the crowd got silent. The crowd
Out
got
here with
silent.
fake hair, fake
The crowd got
eyelashes.
silent.
This is well low.
I was stressed.
Very
stressed
immature
from watching
baby.
that? Are you stressed from watching
Very
I was
immature.
stressed.
Very immature.
But guys, the reason that I gave this video as an example is not really around the context of the conversation about the hair. That's not what it is really. It's the level of disrespect and what were the men in the background doing when they saw a fellow guy disrespecting a woman and getting in her face. He got out of his chair. He was that was very aggressive body language. Like, what was his intention? He came out of his chair, he was in her face. Obviously, she too was giving it to him, yes, but as a man, is he not meant to at least? Nobody was throwing hands, they were just talking. My issue was, again, what were the men in the background doing? All those men, they're black. They definitely came out of a black woman. They have black sisters, black aunties, black cousins, right? but they still sat down on their chair. They were laughing. They were just looking around. And this video, actually, this is the tame version. The guy went crazy. He even worse in the backstage.
Backstage,
He
he
was
did another video.
drinking,
Yeah.
all this over a disagreement or an argument. They're having a debate, right? It's incredibly aggressive behavior from a man just in a debate setting with a woman. And once again, I ask, what were the men in the background doing? And the answer is nothing.
I've seen this guy Ginger J before, and I've seen the format of the show. It's intentional the way they do this. You know, you have the guys sitting and they ask certain questions. This is not he's never been this bad, but I've seen this show. It's intentionally confrontational. And as you said, Cece, it's not even about the contents of what he said, it's his demeanor. And I think, from what I heard, I think he's had an interview in previous years where he's been to jail and he has been cheated on with a black woman. That's trauma for him. Hence the attitude and the hatred for women that you saw in that segment. But the issue is like you said, not one man stood up. But that's the average black man. I'm sorry. That's what they do. They we love our black sisters. We love our black sisters. And you heard what that guy said, the talking head, where he said, oh, you had me until you mentioned the hair. Yet not one person said anything. And that to me is just how black men see us. You would think that them coming out of a black woman, having sisters, having family that are black women. But this is the average behavior of a black man. Unless you're slagging off their girlfriend, they don't care. You can slag off a black woman, you can insult a black woman, they won't do anything. It's the insult is funny. You saw them sniggering, oh, what? You know, that type of thing, but they won't say one word, even to the fact that he stood up and he was getting aggressive. The only thing I like is that she pushed back and she gave as good as he gave, which I like that for her. But are you trying to say that if he was physically aggressive to her, would anyone stand in for her? I really don't think so. But I just think this is how, unfortunately, especially in the UK, a lot of men behave. And back to what CC said, I saw another video where he was kicking off at the backstage. He even said a lot worse. He said a lot of B's, a lot of F's, and a whole lot of stuff. And he has admitted he's got trauma. He shouldn't have been on that show if you cannot take the type of commentary that's going to go back and forth between what's going to be said and a lot of what the women said. He shouldn't have been on that show if he can't control himself in terms of being triggered by what she said. But I think it goes to show, and I'm going to kind of direct this to you, B, that there are men like these that do not protect black women, have a disdain for black women, will see a black woman being insulted and will do nothing. You said to me, are there women out there? You've just seen it now.
And my issue is that a lot of black men, they fail to hold their brothers accountable. So when you fail to do that, all you're doing, or you're not checking the behavior, you just allow the abuse to continue. You just reinforce the sense to them that, yeah, it's acceptable to attack a black woman. It's acceptable to be disrespectful. It's acceptable for a man to get out of his chair and get in her face. Why? Yeah. The black woman, yeah, she's giving it back to you because none of you are protecting her. None of you are saying anything to say, guy, sit down, bro. Even to pull him and be like, bro, don't do that. Like, it's not worth it. Like, calm down. It's not that deep.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
1 second. Can I put a break here before the men go ahead?
Okay.
Just
go for it.
Okay, welcome back.
UB.
We also have
Bano.
we also have Papi on the stage now.
Welcome Papi.
Uncle Dio, welcome.
Papi, you're making some comments in the backstage.
Hey, UB. Hey, Papi.
Sorry, Cece.
Papi is good. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you for having me. First
what are your thoughts so far?
You ladies, you did an amazing job as usual. You know, you always nailed it. And if I have to be honest, I don't see this conversation. I didn't envisage this was going to be the direction the show will go. And I also don't see the last video coming, so now I'm confused. I'm struggling. I don't want to say something that the sisters will come for my black ass. And at the same time, I still wanted to like see what's exactly on my mind.
Safe space. It's a
Can you
safe
guys
space.
hear
Go
me?
for it.
Uncle Ben, it's not safe
Yeah,
now.
use God's boost now, Uncle Ben.
No,
So
it's a
just
safe
go ahead.
space.
It's
It's
not
Just
a
safe. It's
safe
a
space.
safe place,
safe.
so
It's
go
safe.
ahead,
It's no
Uncle.
bad
Go ahead.
pussy, but it's
Okay.
safe.
Uncle Ben, baby of the house is telling you that it's not a safe space. So
Thank you, Daddy, my love. You see, that's why you are our last born. Okay, let me just be serious for a minute here. There are several nuances to this topic. First off, who protects the black women? And I think I saw the poll. The poll is already saying that everyone supposed to protect the black women. All right. Secondly, when we say based on the videos that were played so far, I think the only video that I see nothing wrong with is the one with that lady, the Nicole lady. But in the case of the first and second video, um, I think the first video, what I can say is that we now live in a society of social media. The lady in the vehicle that the guy was grabbing her buttocks, that is absolutely wrong. That is sexual harassment. The lady will be within her right to have called the cops on him, probably press charges. But again, in what society is that happening? Isn't that in Africa? Then two, dude grab her bum bum. She bring out her phone and started recording. Who wanna be on camera in this day and time? Let's just be honest. Who wanna be on camera? Yeah, it makes sense. It's good she recorded him and the guy admitted on camera that he did it. But again, I live here in America and I know other people live in America too. What I've observed here so far in America, people don't get involved in education. Maybe I don't want to generalize, but here in Texas, a couple of things I've seen and on some of the videos I've seen online, people don't get involved in education. There are just too many laws nowadays that if something is going on and you get yourself involved, you may even catch a case. Yes, you may catch a case. A man is assaulting a lady. What the society expects from you, the observer, is to call the cop. You step in, whether you put the guy on chokehold, or maybe you were even so angry you swing on the guy, you pick up a case. Tell me if I'm lying. It's what is happening in Western world. Okay, take it back to Africa. Yeah, back then in Africa, you mess with girls, men will stand up and fight for the girls. But the rhetorics out there is that I'm good. I can do it all by myself. I don't need a man. I don't need a man. Now, the men are like, I think I have to take a couple of steps back. Maybe she really don't need a man. I'm just saying, because if we have to paint it to look like, oh, the men just sit back there, they are not doing nothing. I want us to also put into consideration that the world has evolved. There have been several rhetorics out there on social media that have relegated the role of men to almost zero in the public space. It is what it is. It is what it is. There have been so many, oh, I know it. Let people be what they want to do. Let them do what they want to do. Don't get involved. You can, yeah, 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 yeah. No thanks to social media in that regard. And people are getting smarter every day. So I'm just saying that, yes, you were right, sisters. Men who saw that type of treatment where a crazy guy is grabbing a woman, yash, men supposed to step up. But a lot have changed. The society is not the way it used to be. This is not back in the 80s or even 90s when men will really step up. Now, a lot of men step up, they end up in jail, and people will come back and blame them. That's what I want to say about that. Now, coming to the last video, the guy that say he doesn't want to have anything to do with black women. This is where I want to get a little bit controversial. Please pardon me. I just have to say it the way I see it. First off, I don't want to sound like maybe I'm a racist or I'm biased. When we talk about this black women, black men, black women, black men, I think it's time we begin to draw a line. When you say black women, what type of black women? Where is the black women from? Which society is the black women operating on? What is the how do you put it? What is the in thing in that society where they are? So when we say black women, yes, we are all blacks, but we have black American women, black British women, black Asian women, black Mexican women, and we have black African women, and we also have black African immigrant women. And this boils down to which category do you belong? So I'll give an example, maybe we make it clearer. For instance, that guy you play his video, Gigaje or whatever you called him, if you ask my opinion on what happened right there during that show, my question would be, you as a black woman, would you have honored to be in the same studio with that guy? So if I put the question to you now, TSC sisters, is there anyone here that guy will invite for a show where they're going to have a debate like that and you will honor it? Do we have anybody who will honor it? Abby, Sissy, Honeybed?
You wouldn't
Will
even
any of
bother
us
sending
honor
me
it?
a message because you know I don't roll like that.
But
Yeah,
Uncle
but
Ben,
can I just answer the question in that? This is, he has done other shows before. He's been on other people's podcasts. He's been interviewed. He's never behaved like this, as far as I know.
See,
this is the
but
first
Honey
time
Babe,
on this particular show that he got triggered.
so if he invites you, you're going to be on his show, right?
No, because we got nothing to talk about. We have nothing to talk about. This is a Gen Z. I don't know how old. He's a young gentleman talking about, obviously issues that I'm too old to be getting involved with. So no, I wouldn't. I would reject the invite if that's what you're asking me.
Okay, Sissy, you will go or you will reject it?
I wouldn't go on those type of shows. But the point of the video, just to clarify, what we're discussing, the reason that I chose that video, it's not. Don't get distracted by what they're discussing. That's not the topic for discussion. We're not discussing dating black women, not dating black women, black men. That's not what it's there for. The reason I chose that video specifically, remove the context of the video. It is what was happening and what
the black men, they were not doing. Okay,
what were the black men doing or not doing? Focus on that.
Do anything.
Not around the black women dating black men.
Sissy, we can't just go on the basis of that if we don't look at the context of what is going on there. There is a reason I asked you, my sisters, if you will honor invitation to be on a platform like that. So all the people on that platform, including the so-called black women there, they knew exactly what they walked into. They knew exactly what they were doing. The black men you see at the back there, those are British black men. I don't think, are they Americans? No.
British.
Those are British black men. The ladies we are using as black women right now, those are British black women brought up in a society where people don't have room, where they don't really instill moral. How do I describe it now? Where they don't really kind of like.
Some of the women are from African descent, as in Nigerian.
It doesn't matter. They grew up in the British society.
Uncle Ben,
what
has
has that got to do with the behavior of the man?
Let me land. I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
I just told you right now. If I'm in Nigeria right now, and one boy is misbehaving to a woman where I am, I will step up. Oh, I will step up. Do you know why? Because I know every man there, even law enforcement, if they get there, if they say that, okay, a boy is treating a woman wrong, and I step up fighting for her, almost all of them will do the same thing.
Well, Uncle
They will
Ben,
say
the
it as
first video
anything
was
wrong.
in Nigeria. That woman was being mistreated, and none of the men did anything. So what you're saying is just
Just
contradicts what you're
hold
saying.
on, Cece.
Mm,
Just hold on.
mm.
When I spoke about the last video, I told you the narrative right now is what people are behaving based on what they saw on social media that is becoming acceptable, that this is the way of life now. So that is but I'm telling you this, that's me. If I found myself in that situation in Nigeria, I can defend the woman, knowing fully well that whether you call the police, whether any other men that come up, the real men, they will take my side. They will know I have nothing to do with whatever is going on. I'm just protecting her. But if the same thing is happening right here in America as I'm speaking with you right now, let the man come here now and start slapping a woman where I am. I swear to you, I won't say him. I will stand up and walk away. Why? Because this is America. So it's the same thing with the second video. Those ladies that we are now saying, why are the guys not protecting them? They already know what they are walking into when they got there. They went there to be insulted, and the dude insulted them. It's the crazy world we live in. Now, look at the dude himself that is insulting them. Does that guy look like somebody that a reasonable black woman should be around? Those are the questions. What are their age? What are their age bracket? So please, it's not like black men are not protecting black women. The problem we have is a societal problem. A lot of things have changed. I remember a couple of times when we had conversations surrounding raising children on our platform. Some people will come from the perspective that, hey, just let the children guide them this way. You don't have to be tough on them. You don't have to. Why do we are saying that we were raised with tough love? The tough love taught us how to behave. So that is the society we live in. So it's not like, oh, black men don't want to protect black men or something. A lot have changed. Women have changed the narrative, and then some men have also bought into the narrative. That's all I want to say about that. And lastly, regarding the Nicole lady situation, I work in healthcare too. And I've been saying this forever to those who want to listen as our African people. If you don't put yourself first, you will always be treated like a trash. I'm sorry. If you don't know when to speak up, we Africans, this is not like me pulling this from my anus. No, this is what I've seen over and over and over again. Africans, majority of Africans that I've seen in this our Obodo Igbo, they don't speak up for themselves when it matters. They come to their home, they get in African circle and African community, and then they just yap away. Yeah. Once they see Oyibo like this, they are quiet. Even if it is something that they are paying for, they will be quiet. Here, it's about your life. The situation you guys stated, I don't know that lady, but from every other story you guys said, I don't know how your healthcare system work in the UK. But here in America, we have our own insurance. And since you have your insurance, you are more or less like the boss. Because whether you like it or not, the doctor will be paid. Everything they did for you, they're going to be paid for it. So you have to speak up for yourself. You have to use your insurance. I've been involved in a situation whereby we are forcing people, literally forcing people to go and book appointment to see their doctor. Just because when you go to see doctors here, depending on the type of insurance you have, even if you have the best insurance, you're still going to have copay. Some people will literally not go and talk to a doctor because they don't want to pay any copay. Myself, I've told you guys there before, when I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, my primary doctor that I've been used for a long time is a white man. The moment he diagnosed me everything, this man just came up with a bunch of blood pressure medications. And it was so nice the way we were talking about it. If I wasn't a nurse, I would have been messed up. If I don't speak up for myself, I would have been messed up. If I just do, oh, he's a white man. This is what the white man saying. Yeah, 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 yeah. You just jump on it. You got to speak up for yourself. I share my own personal story with you guys there. One time, we have a healthcare in my family that has to do with one of my baby. We went to see doctor. Doctor prescribed medication that after I pay insurance pay, I will be paying 5,200 out of freaky pocket every 3 months. My wife was scared. All my wife wanted us to do is, hey, babe, so far we work. Let's get it. And I told my wife, babe, we're not doing shit. I'm a nurse. I'll check all this shit out. We are going to end up with a baby with disability. And I rejected it. And I told her, we're not doing this. So we took another route. Now, even the doctor himself is trying to figure out what exactly did these people do. How come? He can't. So you have to speak for yourself. I'm so sorry people experience all this nonsense thing, but I'm just saying, if you come to this Obodoyinbo with that African mentality that, oh, he's a white man, oh, make a note talk. Hey, he's a white boy, make a note talk. They will mess you up. They will freaky F you up so bad. The medical system is all about money. They don't give an F about you. I was dealing with high blood pressure for almost 2 years until I started taking myself to different. Once I go see one physician, if you are giving me the same thing the dance will give me, I leave you. Until I met a black woman who is a doctor. And we sat down. Usually when you go see them, the highest the one will spend with you is like 15 minutes. But she sat down, we sat down, we went over everything from my food, my habit, every garden thing. We analyzed the whole thing. And then she started suggesting all kinds of lifestyle changes. I did it 2 to 3 months. Everything was okay. So please, you have to speak up. We cannot do what many other some black people are doing. Let's just blame the system. It's your life. If the system fuck you up, they fuck you up. You can't do
Uncle Ben. Can I redirect the you've gone on?
Can you please redirect, please?
Yeah.
Thank you for your submission, but you've gone off completely off the slopes. We have already said that this is women. We've all shared our experience. Every single one of us, Honey Babe, myself, Sister Yinka, Natu, Abby, we all said we have spoken up. We've gone back to the doctor. We've voiced our concerns. We've spoken to medical, and these people still did not do anything. And you've just come on here and ranted about it's about money. People are not getting private medical. Africans are coming and they're not speaking up for themselves. The whole conversation has been, we have been speaking up for ourselves. Nicole Thea, the woman that passed away, has spoken up for herself. She was ignored. She passed away. The lady in Georgia went to the doctor. She spoke up for herself. She was ignored. You're not getting the angle. You're talking about money. It's not a money. It's not a money
I'm not
issue.
talking about money. The reason I mention money is just for you to know that to them, everything is about money.
But we've spoken up.
The one who is sick. Okay, how do you speak up? It's not matter how spoken. How do you speak up?
How should somebody
open your mouth.
Explain our
concerns. How do you speak up?
You need to realize that we're not medical professionals. So we know that something is wrong with our body. Our own part is to call for a doctor's appointment, go in, let them know what the concern is, and they are to do tests. They are to run tests to figure out what the issue is. But then they keep downplaying your pain and keep telling you everything is okay.
That's the question I'm asking, Sister Yinka. At that point, you knew that you guys supposed to run a test, and the doctor is saying, "Oh, you are all right." What do you do? That's the question.
What do you advise that we should do? What
and
should
if
we
they
do?
don't approve, that the test will be done, because the thing about it is that you need to understand that we're not medical professionals. We don't know what is wrong. All we can tell them are the symptoms that we have, and they are the medical professionals that are supposed to help us. Why did it have to take a black woman to figure out that I almost lost my life and my child? Meanwhile, for 6 months before that 7-month appointment, I was seeing different Caucasian doctors, and no one listened to me. Nobody. Until this woman that I'd never met before, never seen before, pretty much saved my life. And thank God for my sweet mother-in-law too for helping me with that green plantain. How do you handle that?
And in my own issue, if you heard my story, I clearly said my issue started in 2019. I know my body. So I already started doing research by 2021, when I was having really bad symptoms and I'd spoken to my doctor and they kept on palming me off. I did research. I went on Google. I had even listed endometriosis, PCOS, fibroids, all of these things. And I said that to my doctor when I said, can you check that it's not any of these things? They still ignored me and said, no, it's none of these things. You don't fit the symptoms are not the same, blah, 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 blah. I had to keep on saying the same thing over and over. I did not know what to do. So even myself, as somebody who's not a learned person, I'm not a medical professional, I've done my research. I've even had, but why should I have to do that? If I go into the doctor and I say, I'm having this issue, I said I started my period at 9 years old. If I'm 35, 30, I think I know my body better than you that's reading from your textbook. Every woman is not the same. Every cycle is not the same. So if I come to you as my medical professional and I say, I'm having this issue, something is not right. I've even done half of the work for you. I've even gone online and said, okay, my symptoms seem to be one of these 4 things that I'm seeing on Google. Oh, don't use Google. You shouldn't go on Google to check medical things. Just do. I told you that they just gave me an IUD and said, go about your business and manage it with the IUD. The IUD was still not helping me. So again, you say women are not speaking up. So we're doing it.
I'm so sorry you have to go
Uncle
through
Ben,
all
Uncle
of
Ben
that.
wants us to fight.
No, he wants us to physically fight the doctor and get arrested. Is that what you want us to do?
It's not, look, this is not matter of getting arrested. This is about your life. This is about your life. This is why I kept saying that we as Black people, we need to learn how to fight.
We don't know how to fight.
Let's let one person talk at a time. Let one person talk at a time, please.
Go on, you, Ben.
Uncle Ben, what were you saying?
No, what I'm just saying is sometimes you have to learn when to go crazy. Nobody is arresting you. This is your life we are talking about. When something is not right, it's not right. One thing I've learned about these folks, when they are wrong, they know they are wrong. When they are playing you, they know they are playing you. They are banking on you to show decorum, on you to show respect, on you to recognize that you are Black and white. They are banking on that. But as soon as you notice that something is not right, doctor, the solution you are prescribing for me is not working. I need something different. They don't want to lose their license too. As soon as you notice they are not paying attention to you, that is when you begin to increase the level of madness. They will behave, I'm telling you.
In the UK, there's a thing, and CC can confirm this, and Abby, where they will say it, that they will not tolerate abuse. They can blacklist you from their surgery. So you can't be aggressive. I get what you're saying.
Okay. I get you. In the UK, I'm sorry.
I get what you're saying. But what I'm trying to say is that how far do you want us to insist? Because you can't be aggressive, because they will take you as, we don't want this stereotype of a mad Black woman. Or they're going to see you as aggressive, and they will basically take you off their medical records and you've got no surgery to go to. I've seen it happen to patients that will be shouting, and next thing I know, I'll be sitting down waiting for my appointment, and I see police carry them out of the surgery. That's all that's going to happen. There's a way you have to articulate yourself without being aggressive. And even when you do articulate yourself and we speak up, because all of us have given our experiences, some people will not listen to you. I can't force someone to listen. Am I going to hold them down and shout down their ear? All we can do is vocalize what we said. And there are some doctors, and I've told you about my sister, where they will ignore what you have said. When I had eczema, I remember I had eczema when I was in university. I went to a doctor 10 times. 10 times, because the steroid cream was not working for me. I was literally crying. And I went there almost 10 times. Eventually, they listened to me. But I did not shout or scream. I just was honest, and I said that
I have a pushback for Uncle Ben. I have
Okay,
a
so
pushback for Uncle Ben.
okay, okay, I'm done. Go on.
Uncle Ben, I understand what you're saying, right? And I know that a lot of these medical practitioners in America is all about the money for them. But when I had my own situation, don't forget, I even had Cigna, which was under the company that I worked for at that time, which is like a private insurance. And when my doctor put in a request for me to get that surgery done, don't forget they're going to do three things at the same time: take out scar tissue, take out fibroid, take out that, cut out that tube that has already been messed up. Do you know that the surgery request was declined? The doctor had to call like 5 times to convince them to approve that surgery. 5 times. So imagine my doctor did not have that persistence to push. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not gonna get done. So I do understand that you, or where you're saying that here for them is all about the money, but sometimes they downplay your pain. That's what the sister cycle are trying to tell you. Sometimes it doesn't even matter what part of the world it is. Even in America, that they want the money, they still downplay your pain. I told you they were downplaying my pain at the ear. I had to call my doctor and I had the surgery in 2 days because I had bowel obstruction. I was like literally my life was going out before my eyes like this. I was seeing koro koro. So
Sister
sometimes
Nati,
too, it's not even you and the doctor. Sometimes it's even the doctors and the insurance because the insurance don't want to pay. So you
Sister
don't have access
Uncle
to
Ben.
you don't have access to insurance to call insurance and convince them.
Uncle Ben.
You don't have that access.
Sister
hold
Natu,
on, Uncle Dayo, no
please.
verse. No
No,
verse, Uncle Dayo. Make
sorry.
I just
Oh
clear
my
my
God.
real quick. Sister Natu, let me just make my point clear. Insurance situation different from a doctor that is ignoring you. I'm I'm simply coming from the angle of what I heard people said. You go to your doctor feel like it's not necessary for them to conduct certain tests. Even while you are complaining, that's where I'm coming from. That's what I'm addressing. Yes, insurance don't want to pay most of the
But
time,
you're
but
mixing yourself up with your
how?
submission. Do you know that? I don't know if I'm the only person hearing it, but I feel like
Okay,
you're mixing yourself up with your submission.
clarify, Sister
Can I
Natu.
please can I just say something? Sorry, because obviously we're going off a tangent.
Okay.
I understand what Uncle Ben is saying. And the reason I understand is because two of my aunties are doctors. And there was a time when they were insisting that it's important for you to actually insist, for you to actually exaggerate your pain. So if your pain is on the level, and I'm saying this because these are Nigerian women that feel this way. Obviously, they work in the UK, and it's sad. One of them now works in Canada or moved to Canada. And they would say if your pain level is at a level where you need to sit on a chair, you actually need to go on the floor. But my issue here, like most things, is why? Why does he always have to do? Why do we always have to resort to that? So when Uncle Ben started his submission with him also being in the medical field, it makes sense because that is kind of even what they advise. Whereas the black medical professionals, should be advocates for their own kind. That's my opinion. But you are advising your own people instead of being advocates in the space that you work at, right? It's like me now. Before the show, we had a chat and I was talking about interns, right? And I made sure that one of them was black. I actually mentioned it at work. There's no point in me leading these interns if I see, their CVs and I cannot bring my own person in, if that makes sense. Give somebody else to do it then. Because I'm about the only black girl on this floor. So go and give it to somebody else if you cannot even give me at least one or two of these black kids. Right. So my point is, if you're in position where you're listened to and you can advocate, why not in your own little ways advocate? The same way as Yinku said, it was a black woman that said, I also said my own self, right? That the second day I went in, at this point where I was gasping for air, a Nigerian nurse saw me and she was on her way home. She decided to come back. And when she told my brother, I'm on my way home, but I'm going to stay until she went up to their staff room and started fighting them. This girl, I saw her yesterday and I was walking and I recognized her again. That is advocacy in her own little way. But it took her extending her shift slightly, right? So that's what I'm saying here. Uncle Ben is not wrong because clearly they all do it. Even my own aunties can say, If you're instead of sitting down, go on the floor so that they will know that it's not a joke. Pretend like you're about to. That's what they're telling me. But it is unfortunate that, as always, Black
Yeah.
people, it always has to get to that. Why can't I just be listened to? Right? So
Yeah.
Uncle Ben is not absolutely wrong, but it's
Mhm.
just that we shouldn't be accepting such mediocre treatment just because we're Black.
But
I agree.
there was a lady, my mum, obviously, my mum
Uncle,
is
Uncle
quite
Dayo is still
Guys,
there,
can you let
please.
Uncle Dio
Yes,
talk,
sorry.
please? He's been
Yes,
waiting.
actually, please,
Please.
thank you.
Uncle Dio, have the floor.
I'm going
Thank
to
you very
sorry,
much. Thank you
Dio.
very much,
Before you,
ladies.
Uncle Dio, I'm going
Yeah.
to put your
okay.
comments on the screen so you can help us explain it further.
Okay, I will get to my comments later. I quickly want to say something to what Uncle Ben and you have said so far. Now, number one, the thing is this. When Abby narrated her case, I noticed something. The father wanted to do something, but Abby asked the father that won't he do something about it? Because unfortunately, if not for that divine intervention by that black nurse or maybe black doctor, maybe nobody would have heard about Abby by now. See, the angle that I am coming from is that all of you have had the near-death experiences from this medical personnel, but none of you have gone back to sue them. None of you has gone back to say, yeah, when I was here, I was complaining. Even Sisi was there for months complaining, and nobody listened until the thing nearly pied her. Why can't you go back and say, yes, this hospital, I'm going to sue you. This is what happened. This, and you have all the records there. If one of you has done anything like that, I'm sure going forward, when any other patient comes and says, see, this is what I am feeling, they will take it much more seriously. But none of you has gone back to do anything simply because you were lucky to have survived. You were contented with that. It is wrong. It is very, very wrong. Somebody risk your life and God help you, you survived, and that was the end of it. Even the one that Sister shared about her mother, I'm still crying in my heart for that lost child. Why? Because that child will have been saved. But nobody went back to go and hold that nurse or whoever is in that hospital accountable. Nothing is done about it. Everybody just let it go. That is where I'm seeing, if you are talking about solution to this problem, apart from we needing to start saying, doing what Uncle Ben said, and then doing what Abby said, we need to start holding people accountable for it. If we don't do that, they will do it to somebody else, and before you know it, you are lucky to have survived. The next person may not be lucky to make it. That's where the solution will start from. Once you have an experience like that, you were complaining to a doctor or to maybe any nurse, and you are not giving you your treatment, and you know that something is wrong with you, and somehow later on, they now realize that everything you'll be saying was true, and you don't hold them accountable. That means they don't know their job. So you can sue them and make them pay for it. Now, let me see my test again, please. I cannot remember what I put on the platform.
Let me read it for everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
CC, when you ask what are black men doing, you make it sound as if this happens only to women. Both men and women are victims of these various categories. We all need to rise and fight this BS.
Exactly. Because, unfortunately, this is a sister's platform. Okay. You are living you are speaking out your own life experiences as relating to the topic we were talking about. But if this were to be an all-men platform and we're talking about the same thing, I can bet you men too, we have their own stories to even narrate. So what I'm saying is that it's not a gender thing. It's not a gender thing. It's not only this. Doctors and nurses are the same. And what they do to A, they will do to B. What they do to, what they're doing onto the ladies, they will do it onto the guys too. Just that we both have to face it as a problem and try to find a solution around it. And for the last guy that was talking to that woman, in the last video, I can't remember his name again. That guy is misogynistic, and that guy is a complete confirmed I don't want to use the F word, but the truth of the matter is that the truth of the matter is that we cannot do it with some of them. We have some of them like that in the site, and unfortunately, some of them have platforms that they use to express all this their rubbish. But going forward, when you see somebody like that, no need to even argue with them. You already know them for who they are. Just walk away from them. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense. You don't entertain a madman in any form of conversation. Nobody will know the difference between you and the madman. Just walk away.
Uncle Dio, but what is
Okay.
again, it's like pushing the onus on the victim to always be the one. It's like when a woman is raped, they say, why were you in that place? Next time, don't go to that club. Or make sure you go with backup. Oh, okay. The lady was groped on the bus. Okay. Next time you saw men in the bus, don't enter. It's always the onus is always turned, the spotlight is always turned back on the victim. You have not discussed those men.
No, on the lady in the bus, on the lady in the bus, please let me say this, I beg. The lady in the bus, what I expected her to have done first is to give that guy a dirty slap. See, in Nigeria, let me tell you this for free. I've been in a bus before. You know, in Nigerian buses, you have people sitting and then you have people standing. An elderly man was behind a student in a bus, and the man was doing rubbish with the guy at the back. You know, he was rubbing his chin behind the girl's bum. But when the girl noticed it, the girl turned around and gave that man a dirty slap inside the bus. And he goes, why do you slap an elderly person? The man could not talk. By the time they check, the girl said that this is what this man has been doing, to the point that the man even came. So, see, when we're talking about these things, it sounds as if, no, it is rough. But the lady, instead of her to give the boy a dirty slap first, then she was busy recording. And the guy was saying, oh, I'm sorry. What do you expect the people in the bus to do?
But no, Uncle Dio, not every woman is bold to slap somebody. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are 10 men in that bus. Again,
let me shock you.
Hold on, Uncle Ben.
It's a content. No. It's a content. They are creating content.
Uncle Ben, did you see Natu's comments? Did you see Natu's comments?
They are creating content, CC.
Uncle Ben, that's not true.
We can't have this discussion if everything you're going to say is content.
Uncle Ben, it's not content.
You know why I say this, CC? You know why I say it's a content? Remember some videos you will see sometimes, and we will tell you that the way this thing moves, it looks real. And you say, Uncle Ben, it's a content. That is the mad world we live in now.
Okay, but this thing has happened. It happens to women all the time.
I know, but what if the people in the bus, the moment they see her bring phone and record, they thought she's creating content?
Uncle
Ben, what we live now.
Uncle Ben, no.
It's not everything, Uncle Ben. You're missing the point of the topic today, and it's frustrating because you're not getting it. So, like I was saying,
I get it.
My train of thought to Uncle Dio. I was saying that the onus is always on the woman to resolve the issue, either to walk away, to slap the man. I'm saying there are men in that, even if it's content, let's say it's not content. I've had experience where I've been on the train. I was saying it to the girls before. I was pregnant. I wasn't showing, but I was pregnant. Still in my early stage of pregnancy. I was on a train in London going into work. I was holding the rail. This man was pushing my hand intentionally off the rail like that. We're holding the bus. The train is jostling. This man kept on doing it. Where I was working is the financial district in Canary Wharf. 90% of the people on that train are men. Not one of those men. And I started saying, what are you doing? I started shouting. There was a bit of an altercation. The guy didn't say anything to me. Do you know that this man pushed me in the train to the point where I was like, what the F are you doing? Why would you do that? I said, I'm pregnant. Uncle Ben, none of these men, all the men in that train, none of them did a damn thing. That was not content, okay? What did I have to do? I had to kick the guy. I kicked the guy in anger that he fell onto the people on the train. And then when the train opened, the man scurried out of the train. I had to go. Did anybody come to me to say, oh my God, what happened? What happened? Not a single one of those men did a damn thing. So like I said, the onus is always on the victim to defend themselves, to slap the man, to push the man, to scream. But there are men that are able to say, hello, what's going on? Why are you doing this? Again, men are not doing anything. That's the problem, and you're not getting it. You're just you're just trivializing things and minimizing it to, oh, it's content. Women have said, we said, how many women have been in a similar situation? How many men stepped in? 90% of the women on this chat have said they've had this experience, similar experiences. No men have stepped forward. Where were their content? Where were their friends for content? So this thing is a massive issue, but you're trivializing it and making it like, oh, it's content. Hey, the woman should have slapped the man. How many women are that bold? What about children? What about kids? My daughter was 12 years old going to school. A man in the barber shop was coming up to her. Oh, hello, baby. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, she. At 12 years old, she should slap the man, right? But there are men in that barber shop that have seen a grown man is harassing a young girl in the shop. None of them are saying anything. It's on the child now to fight the man, right? You guys
No,
you guys please. Let me
no,
stop.
no,
Let me stop.
no. Let me quickly say something here. If you remember, there was a video that was on the backstage some time ago when we had when we were just doing. I could not remember issues around planes and all. A man was sitting behind a lady. Everybody will remember the video because we all commented on it. A man was sitting behind a lady in the plane, and somehow he was trying to like harass that lady. The man in front, when he saw that the man behind was trying to harass the lady, he came from his seat and was fighting with the man behind that lady. We have instances whereby men have stood up for women that are being unjustly addressed. We have it all over the place. But when you are saying, in some cases, Uncle Beno said something earlier on. He said we need to choose our fight, because most time when you jump into a fight like that, you end up being the victim. You end up biting more than what you can chew. So, so, so it's not as if people don't want to respond, but they want to see the way you react first, and then when that comes to kind of a altercation and they know exactly what goes wrong, then they will not stand up and fight for you. But if you, the victim, you don't do anything, they may think that you are comfortable with it. It's not always on the woman, or it's not always on the victim to prove. I mean, or say maybe to fight for themselves. It's not always on them, but they have a role to play also. People are, if you depend on people around to fight for you, they may not, because you don't know what everybody is passing through. So that's what I want us to really note from here. But if you are in a situation whereby you cannot defend yourself, you can always call for help, shout. People around will listen. What is going on? This is what this man is doing to me. This what this, then something will happen from there. Thank you.
Can
Yeah,
I say
Uncle.
something, please?
Go ahead,
Can I
Uncle
say
Ben.
something?
Yeah, of
All right,
course.
thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify one thing. I want to clarify my my point of view. Okay, Sisi, I am not defending the men in those videos. Everything I've said so far boils down to me saying we have a fundamental problem that goes beyond who protects the black woman. We as black race, as black community, we have fundamental problems on the basis of what we accepted into our community. And it's eating us up now. Then we are complaining. If we don't at least try to solve the problem from the root, we will only continue to complain till thy kingdom come. There will be no solution. All I'm saying is this, that back in the days, it is easier for a man to step up when a woman is being harassed, abused, or something. It's way easy for a man to do it. Almost everybody will be on the same page with the man. But as much as we allow all this Western ideology and principles to infiltrate what we hold in high esteem as part of our values in the black community, we are going to continue to reap the same result as the white folks. I am sorry. Okay, let me ask a simple question. Maybe this will help. If your son, your 12, 14, 15, 17 years old son, even your 20 years old son, if he comes back from school with this long, sharp laceration, or let's say he came back with band-aid on his hands, somebody have knifed him, and he says, "Oh, mom, when I was going to school, or maybe in the train, one guy was harassing this lady. So I step up, and then he stabbed me on my hand, stabbed me on my chin." Please be sincere with me, sisters. Here. What would be your reaction if your son came back with that? Let's just be honest.
Who wants to go?
Uncle Ben, what you said is an extreme situation. Let me take this back to say that stuff like this does happen, but it starts from the home. We raise our daughters how to act. We raise them how to behave when they're outside. How many people raise their sons to speak? How many people raise their sons to respect women? Let's not even talk about the violence now. Let's talk about respect in general. Respect for not just your mother or your sister or your cousin or any female in your household, but for respect for women in general. Let's start from there. See, a lot of these issues that we have in our society, it is not when they tell you that the situations can change, but they change from the home. It is true. A lot of the times we see these boys, they are not raised, but they raise the girls. I was 16 when this happened to me. It is not now. This is not Gen Z era. I'm 44 now. So it's been happening way before my time, because we focus on the girls. We focus on how they dress, how they speak, how they interact with people. Who raises the boys? That is the question. Now, we want to start fixing this. We need to go back home. If these men out here, most of them are useless and princess men, we cannot do anything about those people anymore. They are lost cause. But if
God
you are
bless
a
you.
mother and a father and you have a boy in your home, a child in your home, start to do your own part now. It is unfortunate because what Uncle Ben just said now is one of the fears that I have. I have 3 boys. I raise my boys to respect women, not just mommy, not just grandma, but every woman that you see. To respect their teachers and refer to them as ma'am and sir. Okay. But then what happens to my son when he's out there and he's trying to protect another black woman because mommy raised me, daddy raised me to speak up and help another woman, and something like this happens? Yes, it's extreme, but yes, it does happen. But
Thank
then
you,
if there are
Sister.
more men, but then if there are more men, more boys that are raised from childhood how to respect and honor women, how to put women in their place and not treat them the way they are being treated, it will not get to that point, because you know that when a guy starts to move mad and he knows that 10 other men are going to speak up, he will back up. But when the guy knows that nothing happens, everybody just does what they do, they will keep pushing it. So we need to have people start to speak up. You sit in your corner, you see a man at the table talking anyhow to a woman. Maybe it's his wife, his girlfriend. You can say, man, chill. What's going on? He may not like it, but you speaking up, the guy next table is speaking up, the guy next on the bus is speaking up. Guess what? The society begins to change. It's not going to change if we don't do anything. If you don't begin to speak up, it will not change. Now, I just talked about the extreme case, right? So
Thank you.
I
That
talked
deserves a
about the
clap.
extreme case that happened, but that's how it's gonna go. Thank you, guys. I don't want to take too much. I know we've already drilled off this topic for today.
Oh, it be like saying that maybe the while make I come out.
Uncle
Thank you,
Ben,
You,
everybody,
you
for
you.
are
having me.
not, you are not
And the next
invited.
topic.
Uncle
What's the next
Ben, you are
topic?
not invited to our next event.
Just
And the
because
next
I'm
segment.
watching out for my gender.
Uncle Ben, you are not invited.
Oh,
You are not
no,
invited.
no. I'm just
And the
trying to
next
explain
topic,
why
please.
my gender is not
Thank
protecting
you, Uncle
women.
Ben. We have heard.
Ah,
Thank you.
Modaro.
Thank you.
Okay, Eshe,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to drop the link again for anybody that wants to add to the conversation. We have one we have one more video actually. Just a reference.
This guy will not go where.
Anybody? Yeah, no. He's not moving. And I'm asking him, please
You need to step back.
Could you step back a bit for me, please?
You need to step back.
Could you step back for me? Just move away. Away, please. Maybe stand over there. Is that okay?
Oh, like go away.
Oh my god. Please, could you step back for us? If
You're making everyone here
uncomfortable.
Can you go away? Take one step back. Please don't do that.
Can somebody help us, please?
This guy will not go away.
What's your issue? Why are you standing next to them for? Can you walk away, please? Can you walk away, please? No, these girls do not want you here. Walk away.
No, you are making everyone here uncomfortable.
Lady's working. I've just seen one now. Come on, mate. Excuse me, mate. Can you walk off, please? What's it?
You won't go away.
Oh my God.
We need to go.
First of all, bite his nonsense finger. How about that? Bite it off.
Uncle, who wants to take it? Uncle Dio, what do you think? What are your thoughts, sir?
Thank you very much. What I could see there is just a lady trying to ward off an apparent guy that does not want to listen for whatever reason. But there is something that I love about that video, actually. There are other ladies there that stood up for the girl. That is the teamwork we were talking about. That's teamwork we're talking about, because if the other ladies haven't stood, wait, I'm coming. If the other ladies there did not stood up for the girl, the guy will have harassed this lady in question, and then nothing will have happened. But because the other lady stood up, the guy was like outnumbered. That's number one. When you're talking about why other guys or why other, in all these previous cases that we were talking about, see, I don't know how to say this, but I think I have to say it anyway. When it comes to a scenario whereby you feel the odds are against you as a lady, like the one that you mentioned, that when you're pregnant, a guy was trying to push your hand off the rail, and they don't seem to care. Number one, all of you in that, you are all strangers. Some may see it as if maybe it's a case of a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or maybe it's a case of two lovers that are having issues. They may not want to get involved in it because everybody in that train has something, one another going on in their minds. Even you, when you are in a bus or when you are in a train, you are not there to be policing what's happening between that man and that girl over there. Even until you start to see some kind of an altercation, that's when you now lift up your head. And even when you see it, how many times have you involved yourself in defending either the lady or the guy? Let's be fair with ourselves. We all enter public places. We don't just get involved in other people's matter. It's not a norm. It's not something that we practice. If I thought you're going to get involved, you'll be sure that this one, you are sure about it. So it happens to everybody like that. So your first default must not be that people aren't supposed to rise up. No, because even if you are in that situation, you will not rise up first. Let's be sincere with ourselves. But how do we go forward? I've always believed in that women should learn self-defense. It helps. It helps if you can train up your girl child to be able to defend herself. That's why we have all this martial arts training in younger schools for the girl child and even for the boy child, so that you will not be bullied. If you can defend yourself to a certain level, you stand a better chance, because our society is getting worse and worse by the day. We can't stop that. We can only prepare ourselves to be able to face them. Otherwise, we will keep on complaining about these issues over and over again. Because our society, according to what Nika said, she was asking the question that who is training the boy child? It's still the same women that train that restrain them.
They
Yes,
are the
because we
fathers.
have mostly. Thank you. I like that question because mostly we have absentee fathers. And no thanks. I'm not saying this as a proud thing. I am saying this as a derogatory remark because that's what we're having in the societies now. We have more single mothers than single fathers. That's why all those boys that are seen out there, most of them, there were no father to bring them up. And some of them, the mothers could not.
Uncle Dio, we can't hear you anymore. Right?
Now
No,
don't vex, remove Uncle
can't
Dio
hear
mic.
him. I can't
Now
hear
don't
him
remove
anymore.
me mic.
Uncle Ben, you forgot that I could mute you this whole time. I just because of respect, though.
Respect.
Just
We're just respecting. Yeah, it's respect.
Sorry, Uncle Dio. Please come back in when your signal is better. Abby, next segment, please.
okay.
Uncle Ben, we'll get you.
Hey, we have a new guest. Sister Tejo is in the
Hey,
building
welcome,
Hey, Teju.
welcome.
Thank you, sis. Thank you for becoming a member. Uncle Ben, you've got a new member.
because of us.
Yeah,
Where are you, Ben?
welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Una say make
Sorry,
I no talk.
Talk.
Uncle Ben, you can talk. You know what, Uncle Daya? I just want to reply. See, you said something that you when you were talking to Cece that all of them on the train they were strangers. That really got me. Why? So you're saying that you have to know somebody to stand up for them. That's actually, well, I don't want to say outrightly wrong. Well, it is what it is. It is wrong. When you're waiting until you know someone before you can stand up for them. So how many of your sisters or brothers or cousins, nephews, what have you, that you come across on a daily basis that is being treated like that? Now, I said something earlier on when we were talking about the first video. So one day on the bus here in London, a girl, she couldn't be more than maybe like 13 or 14, yeah, maybe year 8, yeah, not year 9, maybe year 7, year 8 girl. So the skirt she was wearing, very, very short, micro mini, during this last summer holiday. And this girl, so Sissy and Abby, Honey Babe, on the London buses, um, downstairs there are some elevated seats on both sides. So this girl was actually sitting on one of the elevated seats, and anybody that wants to, if they want to alight and they're standing in front of the door, they will be in front. I mean, maybe just in front of the elevator seat. You see this man, a white booty, coming down from the upstairs and standing about to alight and standing in front of that girl. He bent down to peep in to see it are private.
Wow.
That was a wow. And I was on the other side, a 13 or 14-year-old girl. I shouted, sorry, I'm an Ibadan girl. I say, hey, who are you looking at? Idiot. As old as you are. I started cussing this man on a white guy. So I now noticed that the next stop where the guy was gonna, get off the bus, this girl was also going there. She was going to get off the bus. That was not my bus stop. Oh. I got off with the girl. That this one that was just in front of everyone. If you could do that in front of everyone, if you meet this girl on a lonely street, what would you do? So, and I called the girl. I said, come here. And she was not even aware. That's the thing for me. And I called her. A black girl, like, I'm sure she's Nigerian as well. And I called her and I said, where are you going? So she pointed to the street, exactly where this man was going. I said, okay, wait with me. What is your name?
blah blah blah. So I took like maybe like 2 3 minutes. Sorry, I preached to her that. Do you know what happened? I asked her that if she was aware of what happened on the bus. I said, no, auntie, I just said that you were just shouting at the man. I said, okay. I shouted at the man because of what he did, and he was doing it to you. And as the mother in me will not just, leave it to God. And I spoke to her, I said, you two, look at the skirt you are wearing. This is too short. Look at you, you're standing now. Is just very, 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 very low. You can imagine.
Sorry,
And
look
this
at
is
your
so,
hair.
auntie, thank you. I asked her where you can. He said, my friend's house. How many doors away? He said, like few doors away. Okay, let me stand here. Go. As you're entering that house, I want to see you enter your friend's house. And until she did that, and I went back and I got another bus to where I was going. Look at that. Nobody in the bus stood up for that girl. Or maybe they didn't realize. Probably it was only me that saw the guy doing it. What he did. You can, and my heart bled. Like, what are you wearing? My girl child would never wear this outside. From where? Where to where? Do you understand? Again, mothers, we mothers, what are we actually doing? That is another call. And another thing I want to talk about is what Uncle Ben was saying. Uncle Ben, I understand perfectly where you're coming from. I think what you were trying to say was that because of the societal ideology or this Western ideology that, feminism, masculinity, like you are um equal, we are equal, we are this, we are that, that what women are saying on the social media is I try to wrap my head around that is that where you're actually coming from. Even that, that sometimes we women, we can be bragging. You cannot be using that against us. When you see that we cannot fight 2 3 4 men or more. Men are supposed to, stand up for us when we are in such situation. I have a 21-year-old son. You dare not say, talk to his mom where he is. He will fight. It is even me that will be saying, no, 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 don't say that, don't do that, leave it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Please, let's do better. We still need you, if that is what you want us to say. And I'll just, rest my case on this. So, Uncle Ben,
Thank you
we
so
are
much.
not angry, but
I
we are just
appreciate
trying
you.
to correct you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming up to
Bye.
this. Thank you so much. Zeno, can you unmute your mic, please?
Hi everybody, good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. How are you?
I'm good. I just came to answer the question, who really protects black women, themselves and other black women? That's the answer. Because I don't understand how we're going from questions to Western worlds are not Western world and being subjective and selective as to situations. I personally have an experience where I was SA'd by an older man that doesn't even know what internet is in Nigeria when I was a kid in primary school in public and nobody stood up. So to say it's Western world or not Western world, or telling us to go and learn martial arts or taekwondo, honestly, I think again I might be triggered or probably upset. I'm not upset at anybody particularly, but I'm just a little bit taken aback. And there's just so much that happens that we can't say it's just the Western world or it's not, or don't fight up. Like even quoting the Bible, it says treat others like you want to be treated. So if I want someone to defend me, obviously if I see somebody going through something, I am going to help if I can. And if I cannot, I will make sure to do the best that I can to make sure they get the help that they need. And I don't think that's asking for too much. Just taking your eyes off your phone sometimes and look up and see what's going on around you is not asking for too much. making the phone calls because people maybe in that moment are not thinking to make the phone calls. It's not a bad thing. So I don't know. I don't know. I just know that women, I guess we are an endangered species and we just need to protect ourselves.
Unfortunately. Thank you, Zeno. I'm going to put a few comments on the screen. And these are comments taken from social media reactions just to explain that this is not just about us. It's not just about our community. It's the world at large. This is not about CC, Honey Babe, Yinku's Pepe or Abby's opinions. This is general, the general consensus of most women, Black women. So this comment says, men are scared to help, look for a bear instead. For those that don't understand the context, there was a time when a lot of women were saddened and burdened with the high rates of SA in the community and just being treated terribly. And women came to the conclusion that if they were put in a room with a Black man and a bear, they would choose the bear. It's going to that point where Black men are so not dependable that at this point you might as well get attacked by a bear. That's how terrible or unsafe a lot of Black women feel around Black men. Now, instead of Black men to take that on and do better, they have turned it into a situation where they used to mock us, right? So women are telling you we're endangered, we need protection. And your answer pretty much is, well, go look for this bear that you guys said. Meanwhile, that whole time it was an analogy to show how unprotected we feel, to show how unsafe we feel with a lot of Black men. And this is the response that we get from Black men. Just saying. The next comment is says, at 43 years old, I have never once in my entire life seen a man actually step in to help in real life. It's always been women. Keep hearing from dudes, sorry, that happened, I'll do something, but I've never seen it. Only have I ever seen women protecting women in real life. Again, look at our topic. Beyond the slogan, who really protects the Black woman? Are you just talking or are you actually doing something? Are you backing your words up by action? These are the issues. It's always women stepping in always. Men actually don't do SHIT. I feel sorry that they had to go through this. But you ladies told us men, you don't need us. Men, you don't need us men to do anything for you. You are apparently strong, independent women. So you have brought it on yourselves. 10 years ago, most men would have helped out. But not now. This is well low. This is so strange, but okay. And they wonder why we choose the bear. You got this dude in your face, and all those other dudes did nothing. Nothing. And men call themselves the protectors, but it's always women. Crazy.
Always.
And it's the last one. It's funny how they pick and choose equality. Why do you need a man to help? Don't you all think men ain't ish and you don't need a man? Picking and choosing when equality suits. Deal with it yourself. You're a strong, independent woman, right? Imagine. It is well.
Brotherhood, thank you very much. As usual. Deflect.
Maybe we not talk.
Deflect.
Sorry, can I say
Blame,
something real
blame,
quick?
blame. Hey, Zeno.
Sorry, hi Sissy. Sorry, also too, you guys should not forget that not only do we protect ourselves, we also protect these men. Oh.
Of course.
Of course.
So it's not only us, we're also protecting men on top.
Every time there's been a movement, whether it's Black Lives Matter, who were in the forefront? Women. Most of the time, who bettered these conversations? It was the buying of Black men, but women were in the forefront. Check it out. Most of the time, with NSAS, who are the most? Who is the
Most
majority
vocal.
of the people that got the issues with NSAS were men? Uncle Ben, I can see your finger. No, with men. No, it was men. It was with NSAS, it was men. But who was in the forefront of NSAS? Femco. Women, always. So these are
Okay.
Uncle Ben, go now. You've already stopped me, so continue.
I just want to ask if I can say something.
Of
You have been
course.
saying something, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Please, I understand all these things that ladies you are saying,
Mm.
and I understand it, and you were right. But when we say men, 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 it's like we are putting everybody in the same basket without considering individual circumstances of these men. And we also not, it's like you guys are also not putting into consideration the narratives out there. Okay, the popular thing is women don't need men. Please, that's what has been fed to many of these men nowadays. That women don't need men. A lot of women say it all the time. You're feminists. They say it every time. I don't need a man. We don't need a man. I can do this. I can do that. So the result is what we are seeing right now. I am not saying it's okay for men to ignore a woman who is apparently in danger. But it's just the society we live in right now. I don't know, maybe I'm making sense or not, but I'm not excusing those men. I just want you sisters to also factor that into this conversation. That few years from back, let's just say from 2010 till now, all these female representative online, they have done so many damages in the fabrics of our society with their rhetorics. And the system too is not helping matter. I'll give you an example again. Do you know you see a boy and a girl, you don't know their history, you don't know whether they know each other or they don't know each other. And the boy is somehow being aggressive towards the lady. Do you know right here in some places here in America, you, a simple gentleman who is just looking for your daily bread, you are witnessing the situation and you just feel like, no, this is not right. Did you know if you actually say, hey, dude, what are you doing? Step away from her. What are you doing? Do you know some of these crackhead, they can actually turn around and bring out you and say, what are you talking about? Calling you the N word. What's your concern here? Pow, pow, pow. What do you think about that situation? Is it not way better for the man to just say, you know what? I don't know where you guys have your history from. Let me keep it going. That's just what I'm saying. It's not like maybe it is right for men to ignore women, but a lot of things are spoiled. And thank you, Mr. Yinka, for bringing that aspect about raising our kids right out earlier on. As I did like this, I'm raising my boy. You got to protect your mom. You got to protect your sister. You got to protect ladies. But at the same time, I'm also raising my boy to be aware of the environment. I'm also telling him, don't get involved in some shit outside of this house. There was a time my boy literally, I get called from school. School called me that my boy there's this punishment they do now, I forgot the name, whereby if a boy get involved in fighting, it's not like punishment like that, but both boys that got involved that has that altercation, they will remove them from the classes. They will have private session with another teacher the next day. So they won't go to class at all the next day. They will be doing something. It's like a form of
Detention.
punishment. Okay,
Detention.
whatever they called it. So now I got called one time. This is like a year ago that my son got involved in the education. And I'm like, what happened? Well, Ivy and this other boy, they fought in the playground. And so we just want you to know tomorrow he's not gonna be in the class. This is a zero. This is a how did they put it? Zero tolerance for fighting. My son came back home and asked my son, "That's what I told you. You get involved in the fight." Guess what my son told me? Another boy was bullying his friend. by pushing his friend head. Then he stepped in and pulled the boy's hands away. The boy turned on him, and if you see my boy be like Greek too. He's too maybe older than his age self. So the boy pulled him. He turned to an education. They start pushing each other at the playground. And I believe my son, he don't lie. Even if he's wrong, he will tell me he's wrong. So next day now, I called the school. This is what happened. This boy break up a fight, and now he's gonna be punishment. Mr. Jude is the school policy, the school district. Da, 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 da. Guess what I told my son the next time? I said, boy, if I ever hear two people fighting and you step in, you will have problem with me. That's it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome, Uncle Ben. Whew. Any pushback,
Wow.
please?
I have something to say, oh, please. Sorry. Uncle Ben, if you buy a dozen of egg and 11 of it is bad, will you have the guts to eat the last one?
Good question.
Say that again, Zeno.
Where's Uncle Ben? If you buy a dozen of eggs, which has 12, and you break every single one, 11 is bad, only one is good, will you eat the last one?
Why would I even wait to see the last one? By the time I break 3, 4, 5, it's bad. I'm trashing everything.
Okay, but you are saying it's not all men. When we are seeing that majority of the men are doing this, you are saying we should put individualities into it.
That does not apply to the situation. You sure know what I'm talking about here. All I'm saying is that something is fundamentally wrong with the way we are moving in society generally. And if we want to correct that, it's going to take collective effort from both men and women by first off teaching the next generation what to do. And second of all, women especially should be the one to shut down some of this rhetoric that is coming from from your feminists. They are the one who push many of these men to now say, you know what? I don't know what. Let me just say my own because I don't want to offend people. But I'm just saying it is wrong for men not to step up when a woman is under attack. But I'm saying at the same time, there has been several cases where it doesn't turn out well for those men who step up. Even you, my sister, where you they listen to me right now. It will not be your portion in Jesus' name. If your man, they call you, maybe police call you and say your husband is in the hospital, and you go to the hospital, what happened? What happened? They say, oh, he's on a life support. What happened? He finally tell you, well, I was walking on the street and I saw this guy pushing this woman, putting hand on her face, and I told him, can you please let her go? Don't do it. The next thing he turned around and shoot me. Please, my sister, be honest. What is going to be your reaction at that moment? What will you tell your husband? So that's
Uncle
the point.
Ben.
That's what we're saying.
Uncle
It's not
Ben.
like sometimes it's not like people don't want to talk, but when you consider the danger, sometimes you step back.
Uncle
Can I
Ben.
say,
That's like we said, that's an extreme. But yeah, Hannibal, please
yeah,
go
can
on.
I've had a situation where a person deleted right in front of my house. I wasn't there and they wanted the Ring doorbell. And what happened is that they wanted me to give evidence in court. Everyone was saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You're going to be targeted. Where I live, there's a lot of gypsies and they can retaliate on you. You know what I did? I gave evidence. Because I think you think about the fact that if the roles were reversed, your family, regardless of the risk, you would want to do the right thing. They had to protect me. They wouldn't tell anybody that I was going to be a witness. They had to take me through the entrance of the court. They had to cover me. They had to do everything. But I was still willing to take the risk because some things are bigger. And I think in terms of morality, we need to, my son, and I've said this to my son, if you see anything, if you see someone being bullied, then there has been a situation and he has had to report it to the teacher, I would tell him to do that, regardless of the risk, because I think sometimes you have to teach your children to do the right thing. And there's many times where he has, well, they call him a snitch, said something to the teacher regarding a bullying situation. And there has been situations where they've retaliated. I've had to get involved. But I will still say this again. I will still tell my son to do the same thing. So that I think there's certain things that are bigger, because if you don't make a line in the sand and do the right thing, nothing will change. I respect your decision regarding your son, and I'm telling you my situation and what I told my son to do, because if nothing changes, nothing will get better. And we need to teach our children to do the right thing and to respect women. And it was actually a girl that was being bullied. So I told my son to step in and tell the teachers to make sure it doesn't happen again. Now, I've not been in witness protection. Nothing's happened to me. But if I'd have gone into the fear when I was, sorry, I've kind of gone into another subject. If I'd have given into the fear, people retaliate, because in this area where I live, in Essex, there's a lot of gypsies and they do retaliate. But I believe in doing the right thing, because I think to myself, if it was a member of my family and they had deleted and someone knew or could do something to put that person away, I want them to do it. And I'm all about, I need to be an example. So that's why I did what I did. So I just wanted to give you my own opinion. Thank you.
Sorry, only babe, me, I have a pushback with that too. There's no
pushback. There's no pushback, because I did it a year ago. I did it a year ago, and I would do it again. No questions
No, but
asked.
I'm saying I have a pushback with that. If I'm the father of that boy, you and I will have a bigger issue. Honestly speaking, only babe.
Regarding what? Sorry.
If I'm the father of the boy that you told to go and tell on other children because he has to be upright in this modern world that we are in, I will have issue with you.
Unfortunately, you're not the father of my child, and we are in agreement, because we're trying to teach our children and my son to do things, to me, like I said, to have more morals, and to see a fellow girl being bullied and to ignore it, I can't advocate for that.
Okay.
Case closed. Abby, next segment,
This is
please.
what this is Yekpa. Uncle Ben, see? Anyway, thank you everybody for your submission. Sissy.
Yes. Our next segment, guys. Sis, that's a lie. Abby, break.
Oh wow.
Where's our break? Oh?
Are we doing the break? No?
We'll do it.
Okay, guys. The next segment is Sis, That's a Lie. Does everybody remember how to play the game? Let's get it right this time. So we're going to put 4 statements on the screen, and we just need everybody to participate by either putting their thumbs up if you agree with the statement, or a thumbs down if you do not agree with the statement, just so that we can debunk and briefly touch over some of the statements or myths that are out there in regards to protecting Black women. Okay. First one, Abby.
Cool.
So, myth 1. Black men do not publicly defend Black women. If you agree with the statement, please, chat fam, put your thumbs up. If you don't agree with the statement, put your thumb down and say why. Ladies, what do we think? Do we agree with the statement or do we disagree?
We agree. It's almost like these days they're embarrassed by us. They're embarrassed of us.
Yeah, I agree.
Because don't you have your mother in your house not Black? What's going on?
Of course, Uncle Ben will put his thumb down. I'm not gonna ask him. You're not invited to this conversation again. Who's
Sorry, Sissy, that's not thumbs down. You see, Uncle Ben is an old man, because that's pointing, so it doesn't count.
Cancel. Vote is null and void. Who's H in this? Who's H? Who's there's a H? I can't see the name.
H is starts Tejumade.
Oh, Sister Teju, what do you think with this? What do you think about the statement? You agree? Disagree?
You know she might not be here.
Okay.
Agreed. I put my thumbs up already in the chat.
I think everybody apart from Uncle Ben agrees with the statement, and I think unanimously, panel, do we agree?
Yes.
So yes, sis, that's the truth. I think that's the statement.
Uncle Ben
Next
has
one.
found the thumbs down button. No, wow.
Ah, voila.
You're doing
What
your
was
own
what was
best.
you expecting? Of
He's
course,
doing
he's
his
gonna
own
have it.
good. I'm not
Please
even
move
looking at
on to
Uncle
the next
Ben.
one. We're not interested.
Antagonist of the show today. It is well.
Totally hijack
Okay.
the show, more likely.
Myth.
You guys are doing eye neck. You are doing eye neck.
Which eye neck?
Which I did.
Myth number 2. Black men silence equals lack of protection. Chat
Absolutely.
fam, what do we think? Black men
Um,
silence equals lack of protection. Do we agree? Do we
Absolutely.
disagree?
Agree.
Cool,
Agree.
mama, you're just laughing.
Absolutely.
Panelists, what do we think? Honey babe, Sister Yinka, what do you
I
think?
agree. Oh, I agree.
I
Oh.
agree. I agree.
I
Definitely.
Agree.
Because why are you silent? Open your mouth and talk. You're a man.
Uncle Ben, you're disagreeing again?
Can you block him? Block him in the chat.
Can you remove Uncle Ben from this stream?
Please do.
Uncle Ben, be for real. Come on. Black men silence equals
Uncle Ben,
Uncle
Uncle
Ben.
Ben. This one is a straightforward math now. You're keeping quiet. We are not
You
getting the
you
protection.
now.
It's as simple as that.
you say black men not stepping up mean they are not protecting women. That statement is general.
Silence.
silence,
Silence.
sir.
Silence.
Okay,
If you're
black men
quiet in a
silence
situation,
equals lack
yeah.
of protection. Oh, we should speak up.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we've been trying to say for an hour. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Third
Just
one.
got it.
That's the whole thing.
Uncle Ben, do you want to change your voice?
I'm not changing my voice.
So you will
I'm not
not
changing
speak
my
up.
vote.
Okay.
Then we are going to Bora Bora.
Nuances.
You're not
Okay,
going
this number two. This number two, I will change it. This number two. I think
Yeah,
men should
change it.
speak
Now,
up.
now, now, now.
to.
We are
Okay.
waiting.
Mudaro.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. I'm changing it now.
Third myth.
Okay.
Okay.
Black women are always complaining. Hashtag Black women syndrome.
Cece, who said that?
Who said that?
Who said that?
Who said that? Uncle Ben, do you know who said that?
No. I disagree with this one. No, black men, we defend black women publicly. Oh. Yes, we did. Now,
There's no way you're saying that.
Why is Uncle Ben taking us
seriously.
back?
His whole submission has been the complete opposite of that.
What?
You say black men are always no. I'm looking at number 3. I don't see the one you guys are showing.
Okay.
Uncle Ben, number
Are we
3.
on number 3?
Why are you going back?
Number 3.
I don't have my.
We're talking about number 3.
Number 3
Okay,
is
sorry.
women,
I don't
black
have my
women.
glasses on, so
Can
I
you
was
don't need
reading
glasses.
backward.
Just open your ears to hear what I'm saying. Black women are always complaining. Hashtag Black women syndrome. We said, who said that? In Portia's voice.
Do you agree with it, UB? Let's see if he agrees with it first.
Do you agree or disagree, sir?
You have to explain it. You know, I went to evening school. It's not clear.
See,
Explain
I
it.
beg, explain, no.
Even when things are going good for black women, they have a successful husband, everything is working for them. Maybe, they're still not fulfilled and they'll come online or they'll speak to their friends and say, oh, you know what? Oh, there's something still lacking. I'm not happy. Hashtag Black women syndrome. Who said that?
Yeah, some of them are like that. Not all,
I
but
trust
some of
you.
them are
It's
like
your
that.
statement, sir. We pulled your
Yeah,
statement.
some of them are like that. Not all,
Okay.
but some are like that.
Uncle Ben, it's
Okay.
you that taught us Black woman syndrome. by
Syndrome.
the
You're the
way.
one that
Yeah, now, and I'm not denying it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying. You know there are some black women like that. That no matter what you do, no matter how you try to
Really?
satisfy them, seriously, you know now.
I
Some
don't know
sisters will
anything.
still
I don't
complain
know
and
anything.
whine.
What?
Yeah, some
Give us
sisters
some
will still complain and
examples. Can you give
whine.
us some examples? Or are you just generalizing?
Let me you want me to use some of your superstar examples?
If you want to.
You can
Okay.
code it.
No, don't call it.
Okay.
Let him say it outright. Don't call it Jack. Please
Put
say it.
allegedly. Put
Yeah,
allegedly.
Exactly.
you know what I'm talking about. You know your gender now. There is always gonna be something they will complain about. It's not all of them, but we have cases like that. That no matter what you do as a man, even if you go up and bring the moon to her, she's still gonna find something she's dissatisfied with, and she's gonna nag and complain. It's called black women syndrome.
Is
Oh,
there a
Sorry.
black man? Is there a black man syndrome? By the way, men don't complain, Abby. Daddy freeze.
No, men
Is it you
complain.
complaining?
No, 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 no. It
Uncle
cuts
Ben,
across.
Uncle
Men
Ben, let me
complain.
ask you a question. Uncle Ben,
Yes, ma'am.
are you
Yes, ma'am.
saying that those women, all their complaint, they're just complaining at nothing? Like that thing that they're complaining about is not there.
No, it's there, but sometimes
So
it's
why
not
would I?
what. When,
If the
Sister
thing is there,
Lola.
why would I not
No,
complain?
no, no. Wait, Sister Lola. Let me explain it. Maybe
No,
you
tell
expect
Jumade.
this. Okay, Sister
Teju,
Teju, I'm so sorry. Let me explain it. Maybe it will make sense. Okay, here is a brother doing well financially, got a beautiful house, cars, everything is there, and the kids are taken care of. The woman, she go to vacation, she do everything and all of that. But
Okay.
brother is a workaholic. He's a workaholic. Like maybe in a month, he probably have like maybe 2 times or 3 times that he can really spend what can be called quality time with the wife. Some women will still complain about that.
Okay, so the
He had
Bible
time
says
for
that
me. He
men
had time for
shall
me.
not live by bread alone.
So, but you see what I'm saying, my sister. That's like the extreme situation that I mean that some black sisters, it doesn't matter how much you try. One thing,
Balancing,
nobody can
balancing
meet.
equation, balancing,
And it's just not
please.
women. It's not just black women.
Well,
Because I know
Women.
some colored women do complain. It's not
Mhm.
just women, not just black
Of
women.
course. Yeah.
So let's keep it
okay.
real,
The
please.
fact that if you guys agree, if you ladies agree that it's women, some women think generally, it's not just black women. At least that also
it's
means you are
people.
admitting that black women also do it.
It's not a black women's thing. It's just people. White people,
Because black
their husband
men
will be
do it.
working.
Women in general.
Men would
Women.
men
Men
also would
complain.
complain.
Go on DF
I
channel.
agree.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Non-stop
I
complain.
agree
DF
men will
channel,
complain.
non-stop.
I
You
agree
know
men
what's
will
very funny
complain. But
about
like
this?
I said, I focus on black community. I really don't want to get involved in what I don't understand about white people.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
To be
But
honest,
when we're talking, okay, if we want to if we're just going to categorize it just black is going for, there's a whole lot of men on, we know that I've mentioned certain content creators where his platform is complaining men non-stop. So I agree with CC. It's a human nature thing. People will complain
When they're dissatisfied.
It's got nothing to do with color.
Okay. Myth number 4, final one. Abby, let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have it. Right. Black men only protect black men only protect women they're romantically involved with.
Yes. This
yes.
one.
I
Yeah.
You know
disagree.
what's mad? Do you know? No, you know
Oh,
what's mad? Sissy, have you noticed that whenever
Yeah.
something is going on social media, maybe
Mm.
someone has been RAPED or abused or whatever, there's
Mm.
always this thing where men don't show empathy. What do women say? Imagine she were your sister or your
Mm.
wife or your
Or your
daughter.
daughter.
Why am I begging a human being to imagine
To
that
have
they
empathy.
have
Yeah.
close proximity to this person for them to have empathy?
Yeah. I
I
But
Uncle
agree.
wonder
Ben, can
sisters,
I can I ask
I
Uncle Ben, can I ask a
agree.
question? If you are out with
Mm.
your wife and a man was inappropriate, let's say your wife went to the bathroom and a man groped your wife, what would you do?
how would a man get into the bathroom with my wife?
No, no, no. I'm saying your wife is in a restaurant, or I'm just giving a scenario, or you're in public and a man
Mhm,
didn't see that she was with you and he touched her
mhm,
inappropriately and she said, babe, this man just touched my bum, or he just did something to me or spoke to me inappropriately. What would you do?
mhm. I would step in, I would tell her, hey, dude, that's my wife. Why do you touch her like that? What are you doing?
Okay, fantastic. So, same scenario. You're in the restaurant with your boys, you're hanging out, you're having a drink. In
Hmm.
same America, right? A man
Hmm.
is speaking to a woman, maybe she's crying, and then a guy is harassing her at the table. What would you do?
I'll say that again. The thing went out. I can hear it. But I hear when you say
A
restaurant, the guy
lady,
is
same
distant.
same scenario. You're just walking, you see a man harassing a woman on the street, for example.
Hmm.
Clearly, they're not together. She's asking for help or whatever. She's upset. She's distressed. What would you do?
I call the police. I'm not stepping in if you think I'm going to step in. I call the
Uncle
police.
Ben,
I live
Uncle
in
Ben,
But why
America.
would you step in for your wife, but you wouldn't step in for the woman? The outcome may be the same.
I'll step in for my wife because I know it's my wife. I don't know wherever the other woman is coming from. I don't know their story. This is
Okay,
She's a
well,
America.
that
Let's just
in
be honest
itself
with ourselves.
that is the issue.
That's the problem because
So
it
this
shouldn't matter.
statement, so
Yeah,
this men is, you said you disagree with it, but you've just proven what the statement is. Black
exactly.
men
Yeah,
only protect women they're romantically involved with. If I was out with you and you
yeah.
didn't know me,
So
I
are
was
you
being harassed.
saying, hold
Mm.
on, Sissy, I know you want to trigger me, but I'm trying to
No,
have
I'm
cool
not trying
We're
to
not
voice
trigger you. I'm
we're
just
because
asking a
saying.
Misty is
question. We're
listening.
not triggering you. We're asking a
Okay,
question.
Misty is listening. I'm trying to have cool voice, okay? So,
Ah,
Sissy,
my
Yeah.
boo.
I saw a stranger being harassed by another man
Mm.
and I
Mm.
called the cops. You say that is not a protection?
No. That
Is that what you're
is.
saying?
That is.
Okay, is she related to me when I call the cops? No.
She's not related to you. But I feel like
What you want, I think what you ladies just want us to admit to is that a man got to get physical or you
No,
just have
that's
to
not
step
what we're
in.
saying. It's
No,
So
just
I'm
no,
protecting her.
we're
no.
just saying to be a decent human being. I've been on the train and I've seen this is even when I was pregnant with my second son, because that's when I was
Mhm.
traveling on the Northern Line. And Cece will know, and Abby, it's a nightmare. Even with my stomach here, I've seen a situation where a guy was pushing a woman with my belly. I said, stop doing that. Everybody turns around and a guy was like, what's going on? And I said, this gentleman is doing this. And they dragged him off the train. This is me at my most vulnerable self.
Okay,
I don't know
good.
the person. I don't know the person, but there's certain things you see, and it doesn't matter if you're not related to them. It's about being a decent human being and seeing a fellow human being in distress or in trouble. I don't have to know them. I don't have to be sleeping with them for me to look out for them and say, are you okay? Or shout that this person needs help.
Okay, honey babe, what I think you are not also factoring into this conversation is this. If you see a fellow woman being harassed and you step up as a woman, chances are nobody will. The way the aggressor will react to you is different from how they react when it's a man that is stepping up.
Of course.
And to be frank, in this Western world, I don't like missing my word. In this Western world, a man better watch his environment before you say you are protecting anybody. That could be the last thing you will do. And you will leave your children, your wife, they will just suffer for nothing.
So you speaking up for someone, like I said, there was a time when I think I said it before the show, and I'm going to
Well,
repeat myself.
honey, babe,
There was a time where I was on the train, and this guy I was holding on similar to what Cece was doing. My son was maybe 6 or 7 then, and obviously I co-parent, so we was on the train. I was taking him back to his dad's, and there was a gentleman that kept pushing me, and I said, please stop it, I've got my son, because he kept pushing me, and I kept landing on my son. There was a Caucasian tall gentleman that said, are you okay? I said no. And he said to the guy, stop doing that. If not, we're going to drag you off the train. He did not touch this guy. He was even more or less the ends of one of the carriages, but he said it loud enough for everyone to see, and the guy got off the train. He didn't touch him. So there's a way you can intervene without the risk of you being assaulted or being arrested.
Agreed.
And that's just one example.
And also imagine this, right? Imagine that Uncle Benno is not just you. Imagine that it became a normal thing for black men to do. There'll be 5 black men in the space. There's no way that person will not back down without even physical interference, right? It's because it's not the norm. That's why you only find 1 out of 20 doing it. But if it's in a space on the street or whatever, and there's a couple of them doing it, then that person will naturally be intimidated, because guess what? One of the stereotypes of black men is that you guys are intimidating and dangerous. But you don't use it to good use now. Your intimidation and danger. You
And
know.
can I just say
Abby,
one thing? Hold on, honey babe.
Who's calling my name?
Uncle Ben, the comment that you made, you said in this Western society, it's not worth a man stepping in because anything can happen. You may end up getting pied or whatever. You'll leave your wife and
Yes.
kids. But in that interaction, when it was your wife, you were willing to go toe to toe with the man, irrespective of the repercussion, right?
Yeah.
But when it was another woman, you were not willing to do that. So that's why I said men only protect. You're willing to go that far. You're willing to even be. Is it not the same US that you're living in? Somebody can, even in your state, people pull out guns left, right, and center. But you're willing to put all that aside to tell the guy, "Hey,
You
dude,
know,
that's my wife."
Sissy,
Right?
sorry. Sissy, you know what?
Hold
I
on. Let me
think
just hold on. Can I finish my
giving,
train? Can I
I
just finish
mean,
my train of thought?
giving,
Right? Can I finish my train of thought, please?
okay then, sorry.
Thank you. So in that example, I'm saying you were willing to say, "Hey, dude, that's my wife." In that same interaction, the guy could have pulled out a gun and shot you. It's no different.
Push the
Why
word.
was your first thought not to call the police? You were willing to confront that person, or at least to make your presence known that, "Hey, dude, that was out of order. That's my wife." What is it that drives that, as opposed to when you're seeing somebody in the same situation that you're not romantically linked with, you don't know the person, for now you're saying you will call the police, but to be honest, I don't believe that you would call the police. I think you would just carry on going about
Yeah,
your business.
I think you would ignore the
You would
person.
go about your business. I think you're saying that just
Yeah.
to be politically correct.
Yeah.
But from everything that you said, it doesn't show me that if you saw that really, really happening in the US as it stands today, you would go call the police and wait and see that the police came to sort anything out. You would go about your business, Uncle Ben. You're being disingenuous.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Because
I
if
believe
you were
that,
willing to
Stacey.
step up to the guy and say, "Hey, dude, that's my wife," the reaction could be exactly the same. So to me, that
Sissy,
comment is true. End of
Sissy,
story. Thank you.
Sissy.
Well said, Cece.
Can I say something? Oh, I know Sister Tejumade
Thank
wanted to
you.
say
Yeah.
something. Go ahead, Sister Teju. I'll speak after her.
Yeah, sorry. I was just yeah. Well, I was just going to say that I think Sissy already touched on it, because my thought was that maybe Uncle Ben is actually scared of the gun culture in America, because all of us that were talking there, maybe I don't know, I think except Sister Inka, I think we are here in UK, and
Yeah,
we
that's
all
true.
know that it is not as tense. The gun culture is not like that here in UK. Given the UK, I mean the US culture, I'll be honest here. Wisdom is needed.
Yes.
Auntie Inka,
I
can you
want to
please
say
share
something.
that
Thank
you
you, Sister
shared?
Sorry.
Teju.
Auntie Inka,
Yes.
can you
Go
share
on,
that
sis.
story you shared with us before we went live, please, about that guy?
Okay.
Okay.
So, what is it that you just said now? Before we came live, I talked about a young man who went to the club in DC. He just went in to just have some fun. And then he came out, he saw two guys harassing a girl. Out of instinct of protecting the black woman, he stepped up. He didn't realize that the guy had a gun. Or, sorry, because we need to kind of watch the word so they don't pull down the video. So he didn't realize the guy that was harassing the lady had the pew pew, and he went forward to protect her, and he got hit by it, and he's no more now. So I say this because I'm a mother of boys. I raise my boys to be respectful to women, all women. You don't talk to a woman the way you talk to a man. You show respect. And when you see another woman in danger, or you see some, being attacked or something, I wanted to teach my boys to say, step up and protect. But I'm sorry, I can't do that. Why? Because this guy that just lost his life, out of instinct of protecting another sister, he's no more. I don't want to lose my child. So, what I train my boys, I say, when you see something like that,
Okay.
number one, don't contribute to the women online, the men online that are going around harassing women. You know how they go online and they're talking crap about women. Don't ever do that. I didn't raise you that way. But if you see your friend speaking ill of a woman, no matter who the woman is, you need to let them know. You need to respect women. You don't talk about them like that. But then in a situation like that, you need to watch yourself and call the police. Do not put yourself in danger, because we know how it is. Now, if that the machine culture was not in our society right now, I wouldn't advise my sons that. But because of where we are is the reason why I had to say, when you see something like that, step back and call 911. Don't intervene. Don't. And I also tell them, when you get to the time you have a girlfriend or you have a wife and she has any violent tendencies, you need to walk. I don't care who it is. You need to walk and end it, because I'm not about to lose you. Now I'm raising my boys to be high value men. But then at the same time, I need to be mindful to not make them so out there to protect a sister and end up 6 feet under. That's the pain. But guess what? As a society, if we, as people, as mothers, as fathers, begin to teach our children, begin to teach our boys to respect others, when you hear your friend talk ill about the girl, maybe in middle school or high school, you say, dude, you can't do that. That's not nice. If one boy starts to speak up and another boy and another boy and another boy, that's now 10 boys out of 20. Before you know it, they're men. When a woman gets harassed, like Honey Babe, I mean, like, was it Sissy on the bus, like that, and the man is talking and another one is, before you know it, all of these issues will be non-existent. The reason why women talk this way, where there's the generalization of men not standing up, is because a lot of this has happened where they've had to stand up for themselves in groups because the men are not speaking. We can reverse it, and that's the only way we can do it, by going back and starting from the grassroots. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Hmm.
Anybody
Oh,
has
it's like,
anything to say?
can I talk, Mrs. Moderator?
Yes. You guys, I muted Uncle Ben for like 2 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to say something about Sister Misty. She commented here about if the woman would they only call cops if their wives are in danger and not intervene? See, I'm going to take this back to my religion, right? I'm a Christian by faith. If you're a husband and your wife is being harassed like that, you are going to do what you're supposed to do as a husband, right? Step up and protect your own. That's just it. So we can't compare. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it the way it is. We're not going to compare my husband standing up for me in public instead of calling for him to wait around and call the police. Call the police. Yeah, he can call the police after he's done what he's got to do.
What do
There's
you
a
mean?
difference in a husband
Yeah.
handling his woman, taking care of his family. It's different from any guy just walking on the street and you're seeing a woman like that. You need to call 911. I'm going to protect my own child. I'm going to protect my sons by saying call 911. I expect to say the same thing to other men. But if it were me and my husband is there, he's going to do what he needs to do as a man, because that's my husband. That's the difference. Thank you.
Yeah, I am actually on the fence with that, where I agree that it's more, there's a difference between responsibility and what's the other word? So
Duty.
responsibility to duty, exactly. So I
Mhm.
feel like with your family, it's a duty, as opposed to what you are supposed
No,
to,
it's a
right?
responsibility.
Responsibility is to everybody else, whether it's your colleagues, whether it's
Yeah.
your other people. So I think there's a difference, and I think it's very important, like we always say, that it's very important to not be disingenuous just because, it's not always that straightforward, especially in America, where even here, we're talking about America, here where people are carrying a
Not, yeah.
carrying kinife. Do you get? So
Mm-hmm.
you can't even. It's tough. I really do agree. But again, like Sissy said, I know for a fact that there's a culture of not even calling the police.
Yeah.
I've seen so many times where people are uncomfortable. I've stood up for people and was insulted in the process. It's tough. I mean,
It is tough. It is. I've had it to me, but I would still talk. I would do it again and again.
It's tough to be in that situation.
Can
You
I?
have to talk to call the police. Yes, Uncle Ben, go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna get busy shortly, so I just wanted to say this in case if I don't get to come back in. Sisi, to answer your question, when I told you if I'm with my wife, according to the scenario you gave, and somebody touched her inappropriately, what I say is I'm gonna turn around and look at her and say, "Hey, what you doing, man? That's my wife. What you doing?" I didn't tell you I'm gonna fight the guy. I didn't tell you I'm gonna slap him. This is America. This is a society where I live. Here, if you hit somebody first, that person can kill you and walk away in court. Am I lying, Sister Yinka?
Correct.
If you raise your hand on somebody first, in this society, he can bring gun and shoot you. He will go to jail. He will say self-defense. And that's it. I'm a black man. I'm a black man. You don't expect the judge to say, "Oh, I have pity on him." Are you getting what I'm saying? But me turning around, telling him, "Hey, what are you doing, man? That's my wife." That alone will send the right message to him and he'll stop. I am not a stupid man. I've been carrying myself since 12 years old until now. I'm just 2 years shying away from 50. I learn how to assess my environment. And this is what I will advise other men too. You don't get up and say you want to do Mr. Macho. They will just waste you off. Your children will just suffer. Even your wife. In fact, like I used to say, now when man come up for house, now the woman will realize the load the man is carrying. So we have to use our brain. Now, in the other scenario where you said you are thinking, I may not call the police. Here's the thing. It depends on the girl who is being harassed. Let me explain. And it also depends on the environment. If I go to downtown, we all know how downtown could be. That is where everything is happening. I go to downtown, there are party going on, everything, yeah. And I see a girl that wear crop top.
Here we go.
No, just
we're
wait.
going
Come on,
somewhere.
let me
So,
explain.
yeah.
No, people have to maybe make I let it go.
No,
I'm just trying to explain what's up.
Yes, we understand
A
that.
girl on crop top. She's wearing crop top with shorts in downtown.
So what?
Wait, in downtown, somebody harassing her. I don't know her from anywhere or anything. The best thing I can do and what I can advise any man to do is call the police. Don't put yourself in danger because you want to be Mr. Macho in an environment like America. Now, if we move on to the domain, like where I live here in Austin, we have domain, we have downtown. Downtown is also cooperated, but the domain is usually like where you really have like the big guns having office. Now, if we move to a place like that, you see a lady who dressed decently being harassed. Yes, you can say what or two. You can even threaten the guy. Hey, dude, leave her alone, or I'm calling the cops right now. It's a two different scenario, and it all depends on the environment. Okay, so sometimes it depends on. Okay, like let me give you another example. Now, a pregnant woman being harassed is different from a young girl who apparently you see the way the guy is moving himself. Oh, tattoo full her body or something. Why should I get myself messed up with situation like that? When I know that a pregnant woman, if I tell the guy, hey dude, leave her alone now, or I'm calling the cop. I know I have a good case right before me. So it all boils down to what is going on. And again, when it comes to calling the cops, even here in America, it's not all black men that has clean record that they can boldly call cops. Oh, you don't know that again? Some people are even running, they're even hiding their head from the cops. So there are just so many things to consider. Yes, we should protect the black women, but it also depends on the environment where we live. And finally, honey babe, I just wanted to say this for
Go
many
on.
of our sisters that might be watching too.
Sure.
Please, honey babe.
Sure.
I know you are an upright sister and
Yes.
capability sister. But you see, in this modern day and time that we are,
yes,
don't raise your boy or your girl to be a snitch. I'm sorry. I have to
I
be
appreciate
brutal.
your advice.
Just hear me out.
I appreciate your advice. Thank you.
Just
Thank you
hear
very
me
much.
out.
Thank
Don't
you.
raise your boy or your girl to be a snitch. And when I say a snitch, there are differences. Something happened, your daughter or your son witnesses happened,
Sure.
and she took herself to the authority to go and report the people that did it.
Yes.
It's quite different from something happened, they are investigating, they now come to her and ask her account or his account. It's two different things because situation like that get boys killed in their teenage years.
I understand.
In this Western world,
Yes.
that is like you literally putting the kids in danger. Why would you report anything? It's none of your business.
Unfortunately,
the only time it becomes your business,
we agree to disagree,
is,
you be. We agree to disagree.
The only time it becomes
Let's
your
not talk
business,
about
me as a man.
I understand.
Yeah, I'm just saying it, me as a man. What I would tell my son or my daughter, the only time it becomes your business is whatever they do, you have no power, anything in it. It becomes an investigation. They are asking people who were there. You come forward, you state your part, fine. But you, knowing that this thing that they are doing, it has nothing to do with you, and they know you are around there, and then you want to be holy, you carry yourself to the authority. A lot of young folks, they've lost their life for that. Sometimes some of these teenagers, they will not strike back immediately. They will hold back. It could be a 6 months, it could be 1 year, but they will definitely get back to that child. So that's my take. Thank you, everybody, for having me.
I appreciate what you're saying, but if someone's being bullied, I think it's not just about snitching, because they asked my son, and I will still say what I said. If I've told him, if there's a situation where someone's being bullied, I think you should speak up and tell a teacher. So I appreciate what you're saying, UB, but that's how me and the dad have decided to train my son. But thank you. I appreciate your advice.
So if no one speaks up when there's a crime and everybody minds their business, then how will crimes be resolved?
Yeah, that's what I did. If I didn't stand up, that guy was convicted based on my Ring doorbell and based on me going to court. And if I didn't do that, and I know the evidence of the Ring bell was the evidence, because the barrister told me that convicted him. So you're saying to me that I shouldn't stand up, I should say nothing, and that deleter would have gone free.
Yeah, basically, it's not your
business. I can't do that in all conscience. I can't do that.
Okay, can I bring in a Gen Z perspective as someone who maybe I'm more recently closer to teenagers and stuff? I don't know about America, but it's actually unfortunate how the system works, right? We saw it happen with Sisi. What's that not documentary, the one that was asking everybody to watch about secondary school here recently on
adolescence?
That one. It's just unfortunate where
I watched it.
There are more kids that had information. I could explain this red pill thing to whatever. It took a lot, right? We even saw the guy's father, the one that finally tried to explain to his father, who was the detective on the case, dismissing his son the whole time. It's unfortunate that there are actually social issues that we face, and things are not black or white, right? And this snitching thing, especially amongst boys, even here in the UK, is such a big thing, to the point where people actually get onto you. We're in a situation where people are not that far off from gangs, even the good boys, right? I remember my brother saying that. I was talking to him about a friend of mine whose brother got involved in all of that stuff, because my friend came to me hoping that my brother can offer advice, based off of also another black boy that lives in the UK. And fortunately, my brother has never been involved in that kind of stuff, but he opened up and said he'd been chased by a group of boys, right? It's always something. Is that G check? If you live in the UK, Sissy, maybe you know what that means. G check, when they're onto you just to see if you're as tough as them. Even if you're the good guy and you have no affiliation with these gangs. So essentially, it is also a problem, which is why this whole thing is it's almost like an overhaul has to be done, especially what Auntie Yukos is saying, where we can start from somewhere where the younger boys now have to be trained properly so that we don't have all of these issues. But it's a societal problem, right? And there's that snitching issue we have. I can't talk about America, but it happens in this UK. The boys are worried. If they get light on the fact that you're the one, they're in trouble now. Meanwhile, you're innocent, but we can't say that these boys can get away from that lifestyle. Why are they going to go to school? My brother went to Catholic school, but where else are they going to go to school? We live in Wimbledon for most of our lives. Now we live in Northwest London. Where is safe again in East London? If you're not going to, you're living in a hybrid area, it's still an issue, because the way London is set up, what's the difference between Wimbledon? Before you know it, you're already in what's it called? In another ends of London that's not that great, right? So I get what Uncle Ben is saying, and we can't ignore the social issues that parents are not getting involved in. Because guess what? You're not following your children to school. Unfortunately, you're not following your children to school. The bullying becomes intense. All of these issues, it's actually a problem. And we've spoken about it on the backstage before, when I was saying that I appreciate everybody being a parent and all of the energy that we bring in and all. But the reality is actually not that straightforward from the perspective of the child, right? And no, I'm not a parent, so I'm not speaking from a point of view of a parent. I'm speaking from a point of view of a younger person who's around a lot of these teenagers and hearing things and seeing things. And quite frankly, how many years ago did I live all of this life, right? University and college and all of that stuff is not as straightforward. So I was going to add that on. Anyway,
Thank you,
Sis,
guys.
do you have any closing words for us so that we can wrap
We've
this?
done 3 hours and 30 already. Gosh, the topic has been hot today, no?
It's been hot. It's been hot. It's been hot.
Sister Teju, have you got anything to say?
Yeah, so to sum everything up is just
Sorry,
to
Sis, Teju, 1 second. Let me put a break just in case we want to cut this out. Sorry, sis, go ahead. Just in case we want to make like a short form content from what you're saying.
yeah, so basically what I just want to say is that we should just be aware and be empathetic to our brothers, sisters, blacks, white, whoever. And also, I mean, above all, wisdom, like I put in the chat, is actually profitable to direct. Let's apply it when we need it. And I guess we'll be needing it all the time. So that's my closing remark.
Period.
Thank you,
Thank you so
sis.
much, sis. I
You're welcome.
appreciate you.
Yeah,
See you
bye.
next later. Bye. Uncle Ben, are you back? Uncle
Yes,
Ben.
ma'am.
Can you please give us your own closing? Let me put another break because I know that you're going to bring it hot.
I'm not bringing hot.
Uncle Ben, your closing remarks, please, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not bringing it hot because Misty has put me back in the black book. Just because I state my mind, Misty sent me straight to the
What
black
did
book.
Missy say?
Misty said I'm in the black book. I won't get out of there forever because
Oh
I
my.
express. I'm not coming to TSC to come and oppose again. I don't want to get in black book.
We
But
like you,
anyway,
sir.
You know you can't stay away.
Mhm.
anyway, this is a great conversation, and I really like the fact that you, our sisters, you are shining light on these problems in our community. Frankly speaking, we as Black men, we have to do better. I know the society has deviated from how we used to know it. And I know that some of our sisters have also said a couple of things that men are now becoming extremely careful when it comes to protecting women. But we still have to remember it's our job to protect our sisters. So please do the best you can to protect women in the environment, but at the same time, be smart about it. Thank you for having me, the TSC girls. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Uncle
Thank
Ben.
you.
Send pounds. Bye. Okay. I have a few things actually.
Okay.
So we are going to Sissy.
Yes.
Can you please talk about our next show?
Okay, so guys, we have an exciting new segment that will be starting in our next broadcast in what, 2 weeks or so. And it's called Sis, Did You See? And what is this about? It will be discussing the week's hot topics, giving our takes, seeing what's been popping on the timeline, and just giving a TSC viewpoint, as it were, and letting you guys know, and let's discuss some trending topics. I think hopefully that should be a nice addition to the show. So let us know what you think. But that will be coming in our next show, which will be on the 6th of November. Because guys, I'm on holiday next week. I'll tell you where I am when I come back, but it's somewhere hot. Let me know if you can guess where it will be. Uncle Ben, don't come for me. Yes, I'm going on vacation. I think this is my 4th or 5th vacation. Let me close the year off right. But yes, we'll be back on the 6th of November and we'll be adding our new segment called Sis, Did You See? So yes, let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to go on vacation quickly before my trip to Niger in December. God.
Hey,
Any
Abby's doing dirty December.
He then December again.
just
So
quick trip somewhere in Europe. No, not far. Quick, 3
yeah.
days. Come back just so I can rest. But yeah, thank you, Sissy. Have fun at your vacation.
Thank you.
I'm
And thank you
going
guys for
to
accommodating the schedule and, moving things. That's why we've been doing the content back to back. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
No
Our
worries.
pleasure.
I'm
Our
going
pleasure.
to add the poll, the results of the poll. Who protects Black women? You can see the poll there says men 0%, women 13. Who should protect Black women? It says sorry. Everyone is 87%. So nobody even chose men. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, we have a few things that we want you to support. Please. First things first, as you know, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's October, and we have a couple days to go. We only have about 13 days to go. I think, or 14 days to go to the end of October. Please support if you haven't, and still support if you have. Why not? You can. If you can, please do. All of the details would be shared. Do we have details in the chat? I don't think I checked it this time. But yeah, all of the details. You can always reach out if you can't really. I can't zoom this in, unfortunately. Sorry. But yeah, all of details are on the poster. And please support this amazing movement, which is by our own very own Sister Natsu. Thank you very much. And of course, if you haven't bought Auntie B's book, I don't know for you, what are you waiting for? Please, please, please support Auntie B. Go buy her book. It's on Amazon. It's an amazing book. A lot of people, if you go on her channel, you would see that a lot of people have positive feedback. A lot of people have, even on the backstage the other day, they were talking about it, and everybody was, just talking about how amazing it is and how so many of the stories are captivating, So please go support Auntie B and get her book from Amazon. Okay, we're going to go on a little break now, and we're going to show you all of the household businesses that we have on here, and we would like for you all to help support these businesses and show them love. They are, part of our support system, so it'll be amazing if you support them. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm still an amateur. I'm still a
You've done
senior.
amazingly well.
You're
Well
doing well. You're
done.
doing well.
You're doing well, Abby. You're doing an amazing
Your
Let's
turn.
clap for Abby. Well done. Well done.
Yay.
Well done, Abby.
Well
Well
done,
done.
Abby.
Well done, girl.
It's
All
not
right,
easy.
so that is all we have for tonight. Ladies, you have anything to say to our amazing guests?
Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for submissions. Even Uncle Ben, even though you are trying us, but it is
Yes.
well. Thank you for your viewpoint. We can't all agree. We can agree to disagree respectfully. But my takeaway is I believe that irrespective of the sex, men, women, especially men, please just defend women because women are just women at the end of the day. It doesn't matter the location, it doesn't matter the outfit, it doesn't matter the religion, it doesn't matter if you're not romantically involved. Let's just try and speak up where we can. And if not, use the services that are available, police, whatever, do something. Don't be that person that just turns a blind eye and goes about their business. Let's show up for each other always. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support. And good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah, just wanted to say the same thing as what CC said. I think it's about, being a human being. I think regardless of gender, if you see something, someone that is distressed or anything, it doesn't take, you don't have to attack. You can just ask, are you okay? Do you need help? It's something as simple as that. And definitely in terms of Black women, it would be nice for the Black men to show up, and you don't have to have a physical altercation. It's something as simple as, like I said, stop that, or what are you doing, or are you okay? I think it's about helping your fellow human being, regardless of whether they're Black, white, or men or women. And let's try and do better. Let's try and show up for each other. Let's be human beings. And I'm going kind of cliche, but let's try and be human beings to each other. And yeah, respectfully, we're going to agree to disagree. And I liked a lot of the summations, even Uncle Ben, that hijacked our show and it went over time because it's now midnight. But yeah, great show. And yeah, thank you very much, guys, for supporting and commenting. And yeah, good night, everyone.
Good night, honey babe. Auntie Yinkos.
Yes, yes, yes. I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining tonight. Like I always say, regardless of where you are, we need to do our own work by putting into our society what we want out of the society. The decay is deep. It is deep. But we can start from somewhere and let it start with you. If you have boys, raise them to be respectful, raise them to do what they have to do. And just by the time you have one, you have 10, you have 20, men will do better. Thank you. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you, Auntie Yinkos. I just want to say that there's nobody on Real Farm that is allowed to go to Bora Bora if it's not a group trip.
Final.
That would be terrible. If you know you want to go to Bora Bora without the rest of us, just remove yourself from Real Farm. Go and never don't come back. If I start living there,
is it that bad?
Yes, it's been set up in a way where it is a group thing, so you cannot go. Otherwise, it will be a betrayal. I'm just saying. Thank you very much. Anyway,
was that your submission?
Yes, that's my submission. But I don't have that much to say. Everyone has, said everything that I would say. I just think as a society, we need to be more compassionate. We need to be more empathetic. We need to look out for each other because at the end of the day, life is fickle. You want to know that you're, doing the right thing. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much. Thank you to my lovely TSC sisters. They're amazing.
Thank you.
We don't own at this point. We now have a proper sisterhood. I mean, I don't want anyone to feel jealous, so don't be jealous, Sister Chi. Don't be jealous. But it's just the fact that we genuinely look, after each other and check up on each other. It's not just about stringing content together for the show. It's actually genuine. We enjoy being here. We enjoy sharing our thoughts. So I just wanted to say that it's giving. No, let me not say what I want to say. Bye, everybody else.
Thank you all for joining tonight.
Have a lovely night, everyone. Take care.
Bye, sisters.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye, Cece. Take care, everyone. Bye, everyone. Have a lovely